Hello and good evening, everyone. My name is Lucasgvariety, and tonight my friends and I are going to be playing CTHULHU-GOO. This is the Call of Cthulhu 7th edition role-playing game, and tonight we're going to be playing what is titled What's in the Cellar, written by John Hook. This is a free one-shot demo scenario that you can actually find online. Just type in What's in the Cellar, Call of Cthulhu RPG, and you will find it. I'd like to give a special shout-out to Tom and IntoTheDarkness.club. Whose members seek to combine creativity and art with gameplay and have produced over 400 Call of Cthulhu RPG videos. Tom, the host of IntoTheDarkness.club, has also provided me with networking to new players for Lucasgvariety, like Ryan here with us, as well as providing the use of free graphics and handout art. I haven't used any of his graphics for this one shot, just to be clear, but I will plan on using them in the future. So, that will probably be for next Sunday, if the stars align. Haha. So anyways, here we are to play Call of Cthulhu. It's June 2nd, 2019, and we are ready to begin. But first, how is everybody tonight? How are you guys doing?
Well, thank you.
Good, man.
How you doing, Dem? Yeah. I didn't even get the one-word answer. Wait.
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, perfect. It was like 4 words. Oh, I love it. All right, you guys. It is nice to see each and every one of you here. I thank you for joining us, and we are pretty much going to jump right in, assuming I can find my notes, to what we call What's in the Cellar. Now, you guys are on Roll20. Could I have a volunteer to read us the newspaper article from the New York Herald, the date, this title, and the really quick article, if someone would like to read that for us as an audience, to kind of give us a warm-up of kind of what's happened and why these investigators, the 4 of you, are being called in. Who would like to be my volunteer? That's the first decision. You should.
How about the new guy?
The new guy? You mean Howard Clark, author?
Howard Clark, yes. I don't see your handout. Is it
It should be on the Roll20 page right there. Oh, you're under What's in the Cellar? It's just a little clipping. Can you guys all see it?
I see Mythos Skill and Mythos Skill 2, Combat Flowchart, and Firearms.
Oh, no. It should be on the actual gameplay tabletop.
Oh, right, on the screen. Okay.
Yes.
Hold on.
Hopefully it's there. If not, then I did something wrong with the tokens and the overlay working.
Oh, no, I thought it was just a big black screen from where mine was. I'm sorry.
Oh, yes. Sorry, zoom into that spot. I will have the map for the cellar when we get to it in a bit. Spoilers. Right next to it, but I have not popped it on there yet. So anyways.
Okay. July 20th, 1928. Grisly Whitehall murder. Prominent New York attorney Arthur Blackwood was arrested yesterday and charged with murder of his wife, Rosemary. Mr. Blackwood was discovered wandering the countryside near his family vacation cabin located in Whitehall, New York. It is reported that Mr. Blackwood was disoriented and covered in blood. On arrival, local sheriff discovered evidence of a heinous murder of Ms. Blackwood. Despite disappearance of Mr. Blackwood's body. When questioned about his wife's whereabouts, Mr. Blackwood was unable to respond.
Thank you, Mr. Clark.
But of course.
So yes, Mrs. Blackwood's body has never been found. Mr. Blackwood has been detained. And here's the opening. Today is Saturday, March 2nd, 1929. 8 months after Arthur Blackwood was arrested for the murder of his wife. As you enter the law office of Joseph Klein, you look upon a breathtaking view of the New York skyline. You're many, many stories up. Klein bids you welcome and gestures you to come in and take a seat. So you're kind of all coming in one after another, maybe together. I don't know if you guys know each other or not. That'll be for you to determine. But I'm going to say that Howard Clark is the first one to walk in the room. And when he does, and the camera pans over from Mr. Klein, he's got like this ashtray that's just full of cigarette butts, right? He looks like he's a chain smoker. The whole office has this kind of smoky plume kind of hangs over it, and he's just sitting there. He's like, "Oh, come in. Yeah, don't need to knock. Just open the door."
Yes, I open the door and I walk in. Hello, sir.
So as you walk in, what do we see as far as Howard Clark? What's the little glimpse we get of Howard here?
Well, what is it? Howard, in my mind, is a middle-aged man, somewhat disheveled. Wearing a three-piece suit, which is appropriate for the time period. But whereas most people genuinely tend to put their best foot forward for such meetings, Howard has basically thrown on whatever was hanging on the back of the chair when he left his office, slightly disheveled. As soon as he takes his hat off, you can see that his hair has not been combed in months. And how can I phrase this? He has a over friendly demeanor where he tries to immediately shake everybody's hand and get a little bit too close. He's a bit of a close talker.
Oh, you get inside their bubble. I get it.
Yeah. How are you today, sir?
Right up there, he's dabbing out cigarettes. Fine. Is it Clark?
Yes. Yes, Mr. Clark.
Nice to meet you. He definitely shakes your hand. He's got a pretty firm grip, He's like, please take a seat. I'm expecting others, and matter of fact, here's one right now. And who's the next person that walks in the door?
Yeah, I guess I will.
All right.
Since the other ones are crickets down there.
Just gonna waiting to make an entrance, But anyway, Dorian, go ahead.
Okay. I'm just gonna walk in. I'll probably think I'm in the wrong place because I see the disheveled guy over there. A little bit.
Yes.
And
Hello, ma'am. How may I help you?
sir, actually.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
That's good.
The ma'am's coming.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Your hat confused me.
He's like, so let's see. Klein's. Yeah, so what do we see? What's a little bit about Dorian that we notice here? I didn't really go over size and shape, the stats for your guys' stature, but I'm just going to let you go with what you feel like.
Well, he's 34, so, a little less middle-aged. He's clean-cut, kind of skinny, wears really nice clothing.
Sure.
I wouldn't say he's really haughty, but kind of has that air of he's around the rich more than he is around everybody else.
Okay.
So we'll just kind of...
You're an architect. You might be making... this is the age of getting these skyscrapers up,
Yeah.
So yeah, Klein, who's the man here, Joseph Klein, who is the one of the partners of this law firm that you guys are at. He's like, come in. Is it, don't recognize your face. I'm Klein, Joseph Klein. And he goes to put his hand over his desk as you come in and get closer to the desk,
Yeah, I'll reach out, take his hand. Dorian Hughes.
Oh, Dorian, yes. That's right. Close member of the family, the Blackwood family, are you not?
Childhood friend.
Oh, yes. Oh, I'm so glad you could come. Please. Take a seat. This is Howard Clark. Actually, cousin, I believe, to...
Yes, distant relation. Pleasure to meet you, sir.
Pleasure as well.
And then Klein sits down to immediately start lighting up another cigarette. Who comes in the door next?
Gonna have an asthma attack in here.
I guess Miss Sarah walks in. She walks in, just kind of literally walks up to the desk, puts out her hand, like expecting something, like the gentlemanly thing, but doesn't really pay attention. And she's just staring at him, saying, "Okay, let's get this over with. Where's my muscle? And let's get this done."
He's, oh, you must be my actual investigator. And he stands up. And it's like he just lit a cigarette. He's like, he's like choked on it because he wasn't expecting to be so like blunt. And he's like, Joseph Clyde, partner for attorney, partner to Blackwood, actually, as we co-partnered this firm.
Yes. My father has notes on you. You're good people. What are we doing? Can we move on?
Yes, we're just waiting for the doctor to arrive, and then I will explain everything.
She's and she reaches, takes the cigarette he was lighting, and walks inside the room. Fixes it herself.
Okay, yeah. He's got like one of those things that like has all these cigarettes sticking out of it that you can just easily pull one out and use the lighter that's there provided, right?
Yep.
I will take a cigarette, but will not smoke it.
He does. The guy's too busy trying to recover from his choking fit as you take that, right? And I think Dr. Pennyworth, have you arrived yet? She's like, nah, I'm sick that day.
We're going to have him arrive shortly after. He's 55 years old. He's a psychologist, so he's kind of heard a lot of things and seen a lot of things. So he's a little disheveled. Doesn't necessarily dress himself like a doctor. He's kind of got tattered clothes. He just doesn't really care. So he walks in and he just kind of looks around and nods at everyone and then lights up a cigarette and just pays attention to what everyone's going to be talking about.
Good. The good doctor's here. Dr. Jordan Pennyworth. All right. Private investigator, close architect, close family member. Actual relationship over here, and psychologist. Now, what I'm about to play for you, and he sets this like thing up on the desk. It's a large box with a pair of strange wheels, like on the top, and a row of buttons on its face. He's like, just want to thank you all very much for coming. He's already shaking your hands, everything. He goes, as you're aware, Arthur Blackwood is facing the electric chair. He goes, I'm trying to prevent that from happening. I'm trying to negotiate a lifetime prison sentence, but the outlook is rather bleak. But I would rather him spend the rest of his life behind bars than go to that accursed, torturous chair down that Green Mile. He places his hand on the strange box in front of him. He's like, this is a magnetic voice recorder. I use it to record conversations with defendants, so you can hear their exact statement in their own words. These are he kind of pats it like he's proud of it. He's like, these are brand new to the company and makes them, and the company that makes them is a client of ours, so we get access to this prototype. He goes, Arthur, my partner, fellow lawyer himself, partner of this firm, which is why I'm doing this. He goes, he has a message for you himself, and he clicks the button. So you hear it now. Obviously, 1929 voice recorder is going to be a little scratchy, right? So Arthur's voice suddenly comes up on screen, and it's definitely addressed to Clark. Cousin, please, you must help me. I can't explain it. I never believed the stories, for they were too fantastic to be real, but the Blackwood family line is both blessed and cursed. A genie lives in the cellar of the family cabin, but to control it, you must find my ring. I dropped it, I think, in the cellar. Please, find my ring and prove to the police that the genie exists. I implore you, find my ring, for it is the only thing that can prove my innocence. I did not kill Rose. She was my world. Find my ring. And then he begins to break down into incoherent sobs, and Klein reaches over and clicks the button, and the magnetic recorder stops.
Ye gads, man. That's much more clear than a wax cylinder.
I know. This little baby right here is going to help us for a minute. Anyway, no, I get sidetracked. Anyway, it's like Klein opens a manila folder, and he puts a photograph in front of you guys of the cellar that is beneath the Blackwood cabin. The photograph shows dark earthen walls, lined with shelves, and a white floor of crushed shells and gravel. A large amount of blood is splashed and splattered across the floor. It's roughly an L-shaped cellar. It's really L-shaped. The latter part that comes down is into the short part of the L. And right about where the corner meets is where this large amount of blood is all over, like the shelves and all over the floor. So it's supposed to be like a white floor. It's very, very stained. As you can see, there's no such thing as a genie. Poor Arthur has been under incredible stress. He eventually snapped and butchered his wife. He goes, "It's only because I still love and respect Arthur that I'm even entertaining his request to have you search the cellar for anything to clear his name." He goes, "Obviously, no genie, but if we can do anything to prove his insanity, something to take him away from the chair and at least give him a life behind bars to have a more pleasant life, I would ask that you do this for him and for me. I will pay you well." He goes, "It's northern New York. Take you about a day to get there by motor." He goes, "I hear there's some bed and breakfasts nearby, maybe even a roadhouse you can stay in." He goes, "There's no electricity in the cabin, so you're going to want to provide your own torches or lamps." And he fishes out a key and he pushes it across the desk back next to the photograph. He goes, "Here's the key to the cabin. Good luck. We have about 3 weeks until the trial begins, so you have plenty of time if you go now."
One question.
"Yes."
How many beat cops have ruined my scene?
He goes, "Probably several. They've already been there. They've already cataloged and taken everything that they need for evidence. So you can move around, touch things, look. You can do whatever you need to. You're not going to disturb a crime scene."
Taking it where?
Into their custody. It's nothing I have access to.
Are they near the site or are they in town?
He goes, "All evidence is probably moved to," and I'm not even sure what it would be, like the New York prosecuting attorney's office, right? He goes, "There wasn't much for them to collect from what I heard." He goes, "There was no murder weapon. There was no body. They really pretty much took pictures of Arthur was covered with blood. As you can see by the photo, there was all kinds of blood in the cellar, and that's really about it. He was found wandering, disorientated. Nothing on him except for his clothing. So
Chalked
any
up
evidence
to another wild animal?
Wild animal, maybe. I mean, let's hope maybe that was the case. I hate even saying that, but let's hope maybe it's a wild animal. But he was covered in
Cops
blood.
love blaming it on wild animals.
Well, that's what we can do." He goes, "Not blame, but if we can find out evidence, I mean, that's what you're for. I doubt you're going to find anything the police have not already found. But, like I said, because I love Arthur, that's why I have you here." That's about it. Unless you guys have any more questions for him. He has no further information to give you.
I don't have any questions for him, but I would like to talk to everybody as soon as we're out of his office.
Sure. You guys can also, I'm not going to go about, how much money you need to buy stuff, but if you want to buy or have specific gear to take with you, we can talk about that as well. But go ahead and do a little free role play there as you guys are leaving the office, maybe catching the lift down.
All right. Well, basically in the cab or on the train or however we're getting there, I did want to turn to everybody, make sure that I can see their faces and such and start off by saying, "Well, obviously we don't believe that it's a genie." And then I want to do a psychology roll to see who actually believes that that's not a distinct possibility.
I don't know. Okay.
Because Howard believes in aliens, so.
So you want to do a psych roll to see if you think anybody else actually thinks that might be a realistic possibility?
Yeah, because I'm not going to have candid conversations with people that think I'm crazy.
Okay.
Well, I think that Arthur doesn't lie. So.
You think Arthur does not lie?
Yeah.
So do you actually believe him then?
I believe. Well, I'm not going to chuck it out the realm of possibility, but I think maybe he knows or saw something. I don't know.
If someone doesn't want to be revealing, I'm trying to think of an opposed role. You got
Probably.
I'm suspending my disbelief or belief.
I feel like Dorian is just like, maybe, and you pretty much got that, right? Like, sure.
I was like, I can't say one way or another, so he's just fine with it.
I suppose if the characters, well, I don't know. How revealing do you think you would be, Sarah or Dr. Jordan?
Well, Sarah isn't at the point where she doesn't believe it couldn't be him, but the fact that he went with Jeannie is to her the same thing as saying an animal attack, which is a good catchphrase for we don't know what the heck it was and we don't want to. That's in her wheelhouse, is why her family's gone, is because animal attack, unexplained animal attack in the middle of the city somewhere underground, So she's tracking that way, but she doesn't know what it is. She just knows that Jeannie could be a dude showed up and killed her and then drug her off, or it could be some black mass chopped out of the floor and bit her. It's a catchphrase for something.
Sure.
And it's not it wasn't just, Arthur all by himself did all this and managed to make the body disappear and get caught.
Okay.
I got you. Well, I got a basic success, 33 out of 60.
Mm-hmm.
None for hard. So, I mean, unless somebody's actively trying to deceive me.
Well, it doesn't sound like it. They could you can do a fast talk to deceive, I believe. But it's been a while since I played.
Yep.
Unless you're just like, yeah, sure, whatever. What do you think, Doctor?
About the whole situation.
Just like he's trying to he's trying to use psychology to basically like see if you think what this genie story is a real thing or not. And if you're trying to keep tight-lipped and not let your feelings be revealed.
No. The doctor, through whatever way, he indicates he doesn't believe the story.
Okay. All right. Well, if that's the case,
sure.
I'm going to I'm going to suggest that whatever he's suffering from, it's probably based in reality, whether or not the story holds any water or not. So there must be an underlying reason that he believes it's a genie, because that's a rather far out thing just to pull out of the air on top of your head. What is it? To that extent, we should probably do a little bit of research about genies. See what that could possibly connect him with this creature.
Oh.
Let's see. Well, of course, the player's always going to take it sideways here. Okay, well, I was going to take it to the cabin. However, I will allow
Well, I'm just going to stop off at the library real quick and maybe do like some library use rules to see if I can find any connection between Blackwood and a genie.
I would say library use would be possible for anybody who wants to do it, or if anyone that has knowledge in the occult would also probably be okay. If anybody want to make a roll.
I'd actually want to go to the library too, but for a completely different reason. See if there's any specs or anything on the cabin or anything around that area that it was built on.
History of the cabin.
Maybe when you get up to Whitehall, where it is, because you're basically in New York, the city, but you go into northern New York, close to Virginia, and this cabin is just a small family cabin out in the middle of the woods. So
yeah, usually if something's built or whatever else, they will have like land plans or the housing plans or anything else somewhere.
Okay.
Well, and I may be reading into this too much, but the Blackwoods, are they like an old family?
They are an old family.
I would say.
Go ahead.
While we're in New York City, like I wanted as much as possible to try to research them before we get out there to make sure that I may have any information, because Howard's mind is not necessarily that there is literally a genie going about, but that may be, a a family myth or, something that's associated with it.
History of mental illness.
Okay.
Well, I mean, honestly, that too.
So you're what? Let me focus down your library use roll here, because I'm going to give everybody one roll here before we push on. Whatever. Move on. Move and push means mush. Anyway, Dorian wants to find out a little more about the layout of the cabin. I will allow a hard success on a library roll to maybe shed some light there. Howard, you're looking for a little bit more history of the family itself.
Yes.
Okay. You go ahead.
Specifically, like a connection between the family and like genies, from a mythological standpoint.
I think that would. I think it's going to cause a little bit harder. I would say probably a hard check on that on the library use as well to dig up something. And then the doctor and the PI, if you wish to do something, you may. If not, no problem.
I was tracking similar to Howard, but I was going to go with more. I want to know if there was some significant changes in the family, like history, just the history of the family.
Okay.
Like, at some point, did this guy suddenly get rich, but his wife die?
Sure.
And it's kind of, that kind of.
Okay. You can just do a library roll. That's fine.
Okay.
You want the
I should probably look at
progression of
this.
succession or whatever.
What's that?
I said he wants the progression of succession or whatnot.
Yeah. That could also be a history roll. I would allow either if one you had was better than another. If you had history. So let's see. Howard Clark library use. Ooh.
Mine are both the same.
Oh yeah, I just failed by 3 for a basic, and you said I needed a hard for it, so I'm just going to take the failure.
Okay. There is 2 things for those who are new to the game. There is something called pushing a roll, which you cannot do for sanity rolls or combat rolls, but for a regular roll, you can push a roll, which means you can do the roll again, but you have to explain how you push yourself to do better. If you fail a pushed roll, bad things can happen from me. Also, you guys have something called luck. It's an alternate rule, but I allow if you fail a roll by a few points or whatever, if you want to spend some of your luck points to make that roll a success, you may do so. However, you'll have less luck points to spend when you make a luck roll later on. So it's something to keep in mind, okay?
All right.
So
I'm just going to do a straight history check.
Okay. Let's see what that avails us here. Once it wants to load up on my screen. Ooh. You guys are not finding any information right now on this family.
So
Very tight-lipped at the library.
During my time, I'd like to look up patient records of this guy. Medical record.
Arthur Blackwood himself?
Yeah, that's the one that did the recording, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I want to look him up. See if there's any signs of deterioration from a mental capacity. You know what I'm saying?
What kind of role should that be? It's not so much what you have to. It's. Boy, that I don't know if you'd be allowed those records. I'm feeling like how's your. Trying to think. It's been a while since I played. I'm trying to think of the appropriate stat for you.
I'm a psychologist. I can't just be like, "Hey, I'm a doctor. I need to look at these records."
Well, that would be where your charm would come in, and you try to charm somebody, or fast talk, or intimidate. None of those which are good for you.
No.
persuade.
Persuade would also be. Persuade could probably work.
That you're a doctor, so you should be given access.
Yeah, I would allow.
We'll say.
You make the next stop because they probably have like an on-house or on-call doctor, probably a psychologist or psychiatrist as well as medical doctor at the prison. If you guys are taking some extra stops, you might take an extra day to get up there. But you can, I'll allow you to do a persuade, and then Dorian, if you said you wanted to do a library roll.
Yeah, I'll do a library roll to see if I can find anything on the land or the house.
I rolled the black one, not the green one, right?
It's fine. Like right now, unless you have bonus and penalty dice, the green one's just going to be a shorter, easier thing to look at. I mean, you rolled an extreme success. I feel like there, which, well, I'll think of something. Okay, You find nothing on the cabin. You find nothing on the family history or anything to do with genies, but you're able to schmooze another doctor there, like doctor to doctor. Okay, here's the thing. I can't speak long. I'm on my coffee break. But I got caught up with the Zoom chat. Sorry, apologies. He's like, the genie thing, he's something that he swears by. He swears by it. He said it's a long-standing tradition all the way down from someone he calls Milton Blackwood. That's all I know. He goes, it started with Milton, like his two greats, three greats, grandfather. He goes, he swears it has something to do from the family line that they all thought it was, it was a real thing, and then it became myth or legend, and then now he thinks it's real again after all this time, and he thinks that's it. But that's all I got, man. That's all he ever talks about now.
Does he show any other signs of failing memory? Is he going a little cuckoo? Getting a little weird?
He mourns for his wife. He rants about the genie, and he swears his innocence. That's all that's about the cycle that I get there. He's on a loop practically.
All right, thanks.
So, I'm gonna push time ahead a little bit. You guys make it up. Unless there's anything else. If you guys want some specific equipment, we can retro grab equipment a little bit. If it's not like like, oh, now that we're fighting this evil entity, I wish I had a machine gun. No, nothing like that. I mean, so
I think we need some lanterns and whatnot because they said they weren't any power.
Things
like that.
You could easily get some torches or basically flashlights if you want. If you want to get a lamp instead, that's fine. I didn't provide a
Yeah, I'm feeling lamps because we're talking genies.
Aha!
Howard is completely serious.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make that a joke, Howard. I apologize.
I think so.
But what is it? Light source. We're going out in the woods. Maybe like some stuff for like an overnight stay if we need to. In case we get like stranded there, snacks and water and things like that.
Rope, things like that.
You've been told there's probably like a pump well, or like a pump, but there's no electricity, and there's probably like an outhouse. So that's probably as rustic as it is. Like there's indoor plumbing nowadays, but not in rustic cabins all the time. It's a small family getaway in the woods. So I'll say you guys got some extra blankets, maybe a tent or two, sleeping bags, some food, some dry goods.
All right, and I'll grab a shovel too because they didn't find the body. Just
shovel, okay.
Yeah, going with the odds here.
Everybody can add a flashlight or a lamp with some oil if you want to. I think that's pretty easy to come by. Everybody gets a certain daily allotment of spending money, which we're, like I said, as a demo scenario as it is, it's not deep into using all the rules and all the things, which is nice because that's something we'll get into later if we play Call of Cthulhu campaign. But for now,
sure.
I'm going to jump up to the cabin itself. Right? Like, you guys eventually have to rent a motor, or maybe someone has a car, and you have to take it through there. You take it on some main streets. You eventually turn down a dirt road, eventually turn down another dirt road, and then eventually you come to where it would be a 2-track through the woods, up some hills, and then finally you come to this. Night's coming on in the next hour or so. By the time you get up there, it's about 2 days later. After you spend about a day in the city looking this stuff up, another day to travel. Also shopping and grabbing your stuff. So about that time you're getting up there, the lights are shining on this nice rustic little cabin as you come up there. And I will tell you how big this place is. Basically, here's the stats we give. Having set out from Clan's office, you have already looked around the main rooms of the Blackwood's cabin and found nothing of interest or relevance to the case.
Oh.
I know, that's pretty much what it gives. I could have probably rolled that better. But anyway, let me tell you the size of this place here. I lost it. I don't know where it is. Let me go back a page or two. Blackwood Cabin. It's a small 1-story house. 2 bedrooms. As you guys are coming in, 2 bedrooms, a small kitchen, and a large parlor. Parlor is kind of like the living room. It's got a couch, a couple chairs, table. And you notice that there's a rug that's half pulled back, and you can see a trap door under the rug. me a pretty good indication that leads to the cellar. You see some oil over in the corner. There's an outhouse that's like pretty much semi-attached to the house, but you got to go out and around to it. And there's a pump outside to get water. And that's it. 2 bedrooms, a kitchen, and a large parlor. It's everything is neat and clean and orderly. There's not much dust up here at all. And this is the place that you're in. Yeah, there's nothing. I mean, you look around. I'm giving you that. There's nothing of interest upstairs, which of course means. Let's go to this. 1 second.
Who gets to go into the creepy cellar first?
Yay! I'm putting the map up on the Roll20 now. So, eventually someone pulls the rug back to open the trap door. Who's the one that does that?
Sarah. She's not playing around. She's wanting to go find out what's going on.
Very well. While looking into the cellar from the open trap door in the parlor, your view is extremely limited. Light from the parlor spills into the cellar, illuminating a ladder, some shelving, and a white shell and gravel floor. You can make out that the shelves hold jars, small boxes, and other knickknacks. Oops, 1 second. Oh, I'm sorry, it's right in front of me. And other knickknacks. Everything is covered in a thick layer of dust. You also note that the cellar has no lighting, so lanterns or flashlights are needed. Large cobwebs are everywhere.
I light the lamp and go on down.
Clark, first one to step down onto it?
Yes. Looking at the stairs themselves, do I see any like footprints in the dust coming up or down the stairs, like somebody had been there recently?
Not that you can see right yet, as you get down. And to be clear, it's not a set of stairs. It's actually like a metal ladder that goes straight down.
Okay.
So you have to especially with the lamp in one hand, you got to climb with one hand and both feet.
Well, actually, what Sarah will be doing is holding the flashlight down the ladder. Like, he pushed fast, but she was going to be first, and then he's going. She's already looking down.
So you're shining a light for him?
Yeah, she's wanting to get down there and find what the police messed up. Because she doesn't believe they did a very good job.
Right. But of course, these poor policemen. Oh, all right.
Faceless policemen of terrible jobness.
Let me switch my overlay real quick since we're all on there so people can see the cellar is not gigantic. Anybody looking here, you can see it's a rough L shape where the ladder comes down on the short side of the L and then loops around there. So it's not the visual I want to stay in, so I'm going to go back to our main screen here. But to give you a little glance, it's all in our mind. I didn't even put tokens out, so we can basically, if you can click your left mouse click to go, hey, I'm in this spot here or whatever, we can look at that. We can do it that way in a minute. So anyway, let me put you guys over to the side here. So Clark, as you step down, you notice that when you touch this floor, it's made of pea gravel and crushed shells. It's kind of got a spongy, moist, squishy feel as you touch down. But go ahead and do a spot hidden for me as you were looking around for other footprints or disturbances in the dust.
Yeah, because what is it? The thing that I was looking for was whether or not anybody had actually been down here
Since maybe the police.
Yeah, and I failed by 3, because I rolled a 58.
Yep.
Would
Would you like to spend 3 luck points to make that roll a success?
I
mean, who needs luck in this game?
Well, yeah, 3 points. Well, yeah, I'll spend 3 points. So my luck goes down from 50 to 47.
Okay.
And that's a pass.
Alrighty. Okay. You don't notice footprints on this stuff. Like it crunches and squishes, but it doesn't leave a lot of a foot trace to it. Just a little indent, maybe. Maybe there's some trace amounts here from like when the police were here, but that's been almost 8 months ago. So with time disturbance and moisture moving some stuff around, really there's nothing you see. There's no dust really disturbed. Even the ladder itself had an even coat on it as you came down it. But you do notice that the bottom of the ladder, where it would touch the pea gravel, actually goes into the gravel and shells, so it sinks down into the earth.
Interesting. Okay. Well, I'll wait for everybody else to come down then.
Sarah, are you next? I feel like.
Sí, señor.
Okay.
Suddenly Mexican. I don't know. That was that one.
It's weird.
Yeah, it's weird.
Not to hold on to the accent.
Yeah, I don't have one.
Sarah, you're the next one down. So who has what type of lighting device? Like, you have a flashlight?
I have a lamp.
You have a lamp?
There's a flashlight.
Sarah has a flashlight? Okay.
I have a lantern.
Okay, so you have a lamp too, all right. Doctor, are you letting everybody else light your way?
Actually, I don't think he's going to go downstairs.
What? Why
Shut
not?
up. Get up here.
Good thing that there's a ladder, not stairs.
He's
Sorry. He's not going to go down the ladder.
okay.
He's not going into the basement. He's going to look around for any family history books or anything like that.
Good idea.
Okay, that is absolutely fair. You may do a spot hidden if you wish. Dorian, are you going down the ladder?
Yeah. I'll go down the ladder.
It is clean and neat and orderly upstairs. There's no pictures on the walls of family. There's no books or scrapbooks or diaries or anything like that you notice while upstairs. And this is going into both bedrooms through the dresser drawers and everything, the closets, the kitchen drawers, or in the living room. Okay. Dorian goes down into the basement or the cellar.
Yep, I'll check out the shelves and whatnot.
There are a lot. The shelves are congested with all types of useless junk. I mean, they are full and packed. There's all kinds of stuff down here. So, as everybody's moving around and starting to shine the light, anybody?
I'll go to the corner here so my lamp casts the most light in the entire room.
Okay, so more like the corner over here.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Just kind of to get a good light distribution for basically as much of the room as possible, since I can't do a concentrated beam.
I'll be
Okay. Why don't the three of you that are downstairs go ahead and make a spot hidden for me? I'm going to probably look to the right like I'm looking here, because I'm going to move you guys over so I can look at the screen. Sarah.
Success!
I see. I'm gonna die quickly in this game.
You only failed by one, Dorian. You could spend a luck point if you wanted to make that a success.
Yeah, sure.
What's 1 point? He
Yeah.
said, timestamp that right there and go back later when you failed by 1 point.
Yeah, I'll do 1 point.
Okay, so spend one luck point, so you got a success. Howard, did you just do another one, or did you want to do one?
I just did another one. I got a 12 out of 55. That's a hard for me.
Oh, goody. And 2 regular successes for the other 2?
Yeah.
Yep.
52. Okay, I'm just trying to look at the right line here.
We really like to look around down here.
It's the lamp.
Okay, you know what? This actually makes sense for Howard. And then let me go to, let's look at
Yes!
it might not be a good thing. Just
It rarely is that you actually pass an ideal roll or a spot hidden in Call of Cthulhu.
sometimes you just don't want to. You don't really want to pass. Like the whole intelligence roll or whatever when you have to do that sanity stuff.
Oh yeah.
You know what? I comprehend it. What? No. Let's
I understand the terrible secret of...
insert entity name here. All right. Do you see what I put on the map there?
Let's back up.
So Howard's been splattered.
So.
Oh! The murder might have happened down here.
Alrighty. So let's.
That's what they said. And then she gets down. She's looking underneath the shelves down here at the end. That's what she's thinking. There's something there.
Okay.
There's something to make the basement actually bigger because it doesn't match what she thinks it should look like.
Fine. All right. Let me just look ahead. It's like the way the module's laid out. There's stuff everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm gonna come back to Howard Howard, as you set the light there, you can and you just kind of stand up. You see the remnants of old blood on kind of the shelves. On the shelves to your right and your left, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're standing looking at the corner to the right and left. But the picture showed that where you're standing right now with the lamp is her murder was right here, where I'm marking, right in that corner. Or, well, that's where the blood was. And you're looking at the gravel, and the gravel and the shells itself, the floor, is entirely clear of blood. Like, everything. The shelves have remnants and little splatters, which is why I put those there to represent that. But the floor itself, which had the most blood, like, pooled all over it, is completely white. Clean.
Well, if that's the case, then I'm going to stoop down and sift through the gravel a bit to see if I can find any that has blood stains.
All right. I'll come back to you. Remind me in a minute if I forgot you.
Okay.
Let's see. Dorian and Sarah both have normal successes, right? Dorian, let's see. I'm just looking at my set here. Dorian, as you go and look in the shelves, you're nearby some garden tools and things. You find look there. You find some like 3 pairs of old leather gloves. Have a little bit of like white dust on them and everything, and
They were a cokehead.
oh, genies, man!
It all makes sense now.
Sarah, you find actually a collection of old musky books. They're up on one of the top shelves. You push an old like box aside just a little bit, and you see like a set of a couple books there. And
All right. She will start pulling them down to see which one's the best shape, because that one most likely is readable, as present tense.
Sure. Go ahead and give me a library use.
No, I don't want to do that.
You find a bunch of books, but with your immediate thumbing through, nothing stands out to you at the moment.
Not enough pictures.
But you haven't had time to look but for a moment or two, right? Howard, as you start digging a little bit through the shelves and the pea gravel, you go down, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 inches. Nothing. It's all the same. There's no blood at all.
Did I find a bottom?
No. You get down about 5 or 6 inches, and I'm just giving you like 3 inches, 4 inches. 5, you know, you're kind of pulling back.
I'm kind of looking for a body too, so I mean, I'll go until I hit like dirt floor, I suppose.
All right.
Did bring a shovel.
Well, that is why I brought a shovel, because like if the murder happened here, it seems like the best way, best place to like hide the body is to like, shift some gravel aside, put the body in there, and shift it back. So yeah, totally. I'm not gonna like dig up the entire basement.
So,
but
you
but
said
around the blood.
You were starting to dig with your hands, right, down there?
Yeah. Just kind of sifting through if because you can get 6 inches in pea gravel by like 3 brushes. Without too much difficulty. I'll keep going until I hit like dirt floor or concrete or whatever they got.
Okay, so because there's crushed shells and everything in there as well, you will actually sustain a point of damage as you you start getting some real nasty cuts on your hands as you dig through and your hands start to bleed. You get down about a foot and a half. You still haven't hit any kind of solid bottom yet.
Okay, I'll
I'll
go get my shovel at that point.
Yeah, you're like, or whatever reaction you would make, right? Let me just look at one thing real quick.
Okay. Let me mark my point of damage. Do. It's luck.
Yeah, there's some gloves over here.
And just as you're stopping, you're like, "Oh,
Now you
ouch."
tell me.
You pick your yeah, gloves. Hey, gloves.
Now you tell me.
Yeah.
So you're looking at your hand, and then you're looking at your hand, which is up close, and everything behind you is blurry. But we do that rack shot right over wherever, and so it zooms in and focuses on what's behind you. And we look down into the kind of the hole that's kind of filling back in a little bit because it's soft. And you notice that underneath those, you're about a foot and a half down. That it's turned from shells and pea gravel into actual what looks like bone.
Oh, yeah, I'm definitely. I say, just a sec, and I run and get my shovel.
So with bloody hands, he scrambles up the ladder. You notice as you get up top, Howard, that it's much warmer upstairs than you remembered a few moments ago. As a matter of fact, Sarah and Dorian, you feel like it's a little colder down there in the cellar than it was at home. Maybe the dampness is really settling into your bones, but you guys get a little shiver.
Right. Well, I'm literally running to get the shovel, so as soon as I can get back, I will. But if something has to happen before I do.
Yes, we'll do a couple actions here. I'm separating all these loose papers as well as the PDF.
Kill us all, Howard.
So, Doctor, you find nothing. In a couple moments, Howard Clark comes up the ladder. You can see blood on his hands a little bit, and then I don't know if you interact or not, but you see this as he's making haste.
I found something!
No need to yell there, sir.
Uncomfortably close to your face.
That bloody hands. Let's step back. You're not painting a good picture of yourself, right?
Yeah, because we didn't come back up, bloody hands.
Yes, but first, the shovel! I run off.
Right.
Hey. Let's see.
Another nutter to put under your wing, Doctor.
I forget.
Or am I sane like a fox?
Like a fox. Okay. Dr. Pennyworth, after that close encounter with the weird kind, is there anything that you do at this point?
Considering that some guy just came up, bloody hands, and yelled in my face, I guess I'll head down to kind of see what's going on now that my search upstairs is finished. So I'll go down and be like, is there a reason that guy had bloody hands? What's going on down here?
I'll just point a big hole over in the corner that digging with his hands.
Yeah, he's
So-
you can see the blood splatters I put on the map. He's digging a hole right about there.
So he's feverishly digging a hole in the corner of the cellar.
Yeah.
Okay. I take out a cigarette and I start to smoke.
Yeah, it's something like rough kind of hole right there.
Well, I'm going to examine the hole he's been digging at.
Okay,
I'm going to grab some of those gloves.
that's probably a great idea.
Yeah.
So, Sarah found a bunch of books, but didn't discern anything from it. He dug up till he had, well, you found some leather gloves, and then Clark dug until his hands were bleeding, and was like, gotta get the shovel, and rushed out. Doctor came down. You told him that, and you're still digging. All right, go ahead. You're checking out the hole, you said?
Yeah.
So when you look down in there, it does appear to look like the pea gravel and shells give way to what looks like bone. If you have these, either any of these, you can make a first aid, medicine, or a science biology roll, or a hard knowledge roll, if you want to. Which is, I think it says hard no. I think that means like an intelligence roll. Well, actually, I might be wrong on that.
I have first aid.
I don't think they have knowledge in here like they do in D&D, do they? What is no? Okay, but first aid will work.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll do that. Holy crap, I finally got one.
Rolled a 17 out of 30. Okay. So, Dorian Gray. As you're looking at them, and you're just like, I've seen stuff similar to this before, you realize that these bones are human in nature.
Okay.
Go ahead and make our game's first sanity roll.
Oh.
To be fair, to be knowledgeable, sometimes even when you make a successful sanity roll, you still take sanity loss. You just don't take as much as you would. All right, nice. You will just take 1 point of sanity loss, as it's very unnerving to discover that there are human bones buried under this in the cellar.
Especially in my old friend's cabin.
Yes. Now I'm only telling you're the only one that has made this realization so far, because Sarah's just like, maybe I don't know if you're pulling down the books or you're just like whatever.
She's got in her mind that there's something here
Okay.
at this end of this. She's at that other end of this thing here with that button that you use.
So where do I change it for my sanity?
Okay, so it says sanity. It shows you. It's gonna be the far left number.
Far left. Okay.
Yes. So
in that upper right, what is it? Sanity box on your sheet.
Yep.
Yeah, because I have 3 boxes, so it's.
Yep. 99 is the max you can get to. 60. The middle numbers where you're currently is what you have to start the game at, and the number left to is where you currently are. So take that left box down to a 59.
59.
Correct. Yep. So when it rolls for you, that'll roll that. So you can work your way back up to 60, and actually, if you're playing a campaign, can supersede that and actually grow your sanity up as you do good things and you save the day, and all manner of things like that. That's, if you fight off the Magnus long enough.
Or you can permanently lose that.
Yeah.
Or that can actually happen as well.
Yes.
Okay, so Dorian, you figured this out, but you haven't said anything yet. It's up to you if you say anything or not. Sarah, you got these books, and you're like, are you digging deeper into it?
Mm-hmm. Yes, she is. She's either thinking that there's something behind the books because that's a common ploy for people to do, or it's the books themselves have some information because it's like maybe it's an old journal, or maybe it's just literally, I've hit a key in this book because I think I'm super clever, because she thinks thieves are usually pretty dumb.
Okay.
When they're trying to be super clever.
Falling
back on the cops don't really do a good job.
Before Howard returns, I'll let you have another roll. But Doctor, you see Sarah rummaging, actually found some books and is rummaging through, and there's like 4 or 5 volumes and some other things. So there's a few to go around. A library use roll basically to look through them, and then you see Dorian over there who has put on gloves and started digging through. I'm assuming you put on gloves, didn't you?
Yeah, I put
Okay.
on gloves.
You put on one of the pair of gloves you found and is digging, and then stops digging at the hole and is just like looking in the hole for a moment or so. And that's where we're at.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, I'll probably look back at those other 2, but.
Let's have I'll look at what books Sarah is holding on to, but I won't necessarily say anything. I guess I would be looking for anything related to family history.
That's fine. You guys can both make a library use roll. See if you come up with anything relevant. Oh. You're looking through the wrong book, but Dr. Jordan sees, Dr. Pennyworth sees something. Let's see here.
There's something up with this guy writing about this Who fellow, and Horton hearing him.
Dem, I'm going to put a handout. You should see Cellar Papers 2 as a handout. What this is actually you find a scrapbook that has newspaper clippings of these different dates and things that have happened. So, like I said, I'm telling you guys as individual stuff. You guys share it at your whim, and you can hear Howard Clark kind of quick, heavy footsteps coming back across the planks up above, coming to the ladder in just a moment. So, Dorian, you're at the hole. Sarah and Doctor are looking. You know, Jordan, you happen to you pick up one and you find it's not just a book; it's a scrapbook. And you can see what I gave you, right? You can see the handout. Dem.
Yeah.
Okay, you can. Okay. So yeah, newspaper articles, these headlines, and so this is the last moment before Howard comes down. What do you guys do?
Well, I'll say there's human remains.
Yeah, say that.
Yeah, there's human remains here.
Sarah spins them around and runs to see.
Give me a sanity roll, Sarah.
Yeah, okay.
I'll say Dr. Jordan's a little wrapped up for the moment, or did you hear it, Dr. Jordan? Because if you heard her,
I heard it.
Okay,
I
then
heard
you can
it.
make a sanity roll too. Oh, nice. You still take a point.
It's like, where's that when I want it?
You don't want it right now, but Howard, you can give me a listen roll to see if you caught that from Dorian as you're coming down the ladder.
Oh, I'm screaming, guys! I think I found a body. Like as I'm coming
Oh,
down
sure.
anyway, because I thought I found bones. That's the whole reason I went up after the shovel. I'll take a. What is it? I'll do a sanity roll.
You can do everybody can make a sanity roll.
Okay, so I failed that. How much do I lose?
It's well, I had it right here.
E4?
No, not that much.
Okay.
It's a D3.
D3, okay.
So if you failed it, it's a D3 sanity loss. If you made it, it's just a point sanity loss. So everybody's made their rolls, I think, there. So Clark, you hear these are human remains as you're coming down the ladder with a shovel in hand, and it just kind of like makes it hard to hold onto the ladder for just a second on that last couple runs before you almost come plummeting down, but you manage to retain your grip.
I'm excited enough to where my hands are shaking,
Yeah.
not from fear.
Sarah,
Yes.
you've reached the hole before Howard gets to the bottom of the ladder, but as you're looking in there, you can definitely tell there are a little bit of some human remains there.
Bloody hands holding the shovel. I immediately shoulder past everybody and start exhuming the body.
So you get that shovel in there and start getting to work.
Yeah,
Shoves us into the blade.
this is why I brought it.
So as you begin to further dig and the three of you are around the hole, you see you got what would be rib bones, possibly a femur. That's got to be a finger bone right there. And then you come across a partial human skull. If any of the three of you have medicine or science biology, you can make a roll. Dr. Jordan, why don't you give me a listen roll?
Okay. I don't hear nothing.
Okay, so let me pick something random.
I have like 1% medicine. I don't think I really would have.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see. Let's roll. Oh, Luke, don't kill him right away. Be nice. No, don't be nice. What are you talking about? Yeah.
That's gonna be our line.
So I picture the three of you are on the hole here, right? And you're digging, you're making noise. But you see a human skull. And does anybody have the science, biology, or medicine?
No.
I have medicine, but it's like 1. So.
Well, yeah. Okay.
I think I'm too far away.
Yes, and you're distracted by the noise, and you kind of picture you a little bit more like right over here, or maybe even like here. You what was your roll? 73? Oh geez. You don't get a chance to dodge as you hear like something sliding off a shelf and like the sound of steel leaving scabbard, and you turn just in time to see the sword flying out of the darkness to the south end of the room. And it's a saber, and it's end over end. It's like, and it just stabs right into your right leg, right into your thigh, sinks deep in.
Sucks to be you.
With a blood-curdling scream, I would assume you take 7 points of damage as it hits a major blood vessel, and just blood splatters everywhere.
Oh God, what's your total HP?
9.
Oh yeah. That's a con check to stay conscious, isn't it?
I want to hear the reaction of Jordan first before we do that.
Okay. God.
I mean, yeah, a scream would be a fitting reaction to getting badly stabbed in the leg.
You guys, your heads jerk up and look at him. Go ahead and make a con roll, Dr. Jordan. And he's like Ace Ventura 2 with a spear in his leg. You can spend 7 luck points if you want to remain conscious, or you don't have to.
No, I'll pass out.
Okay, and he just turns and he hits the shelf and he drops the scrapbook that he was holding as it hits the ground, and blood just pouring out. And he's just like, and faints dead away. And there's a sword sticking out of his leg. As you see him screaming, you notice he's like, ah! You can see white plumes of breath coming out of his mouth. And as you guys are like reacting and maybe like, or screaming yourself, you see white plumes of breath coming out of your mouth. It's.
Do you want us to make a sanity check? Because it looks for all the world like this guy just tried to kill himself behind us.
I would like... I'm wondering if that recalls it. It doesn't say, but that's my choice. Let's do a sanity roll. I think that is appropriate. I was kind of back and forth. It's a 1 if you make it, or a 2 if you miss.
Yeah, because, I don't know, my thought is... That looks like a dude just tried to kill himself behind me.
He didn't try to kill himself. What the hell happened?
So 1 for Dorian and 2 for Sarah and Howard.
Alrighty.
Yep, and he faints, and he's bleeding, and as you realize it, you don't notice for a second, like, you're not sweating, and these plumes of breath coming out mean they weren't there a minute ago, but like, it's colder.
Can I run and try to first aid him or something?
You absolutely may.
So while Dorian's doing that, Sarah runs a little past, like a foot past towards that wall, that end wall, with the flashlight and the pistol up, like the tops thing. She's just pointing down. She thinks there's something going on near that end shelves.
Yeah, the most southern shelf down here, you can see, because this is like a Civil War cavalry saber.
Yeah. And
you can see the empty sheath laying on the ground where it would have come off this shelf and fallen to about there, and then the sword would have, had to have come out. But, the doctor is right about where the 2 shelves meet over here.
Yeah. She thinks her brain is going, there's got to be somebody hiding back there somehow.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. So you pull your gun up, you shine your flashlight, right? And there's nothing there.
Well, what is it? Howard, while all this is going on, is assuming that, this was, because I didn't see anybody, I didn't hear anybody, and he's stabbed in the leg. The only assumption I can make is that he did it to himself for some reason. So I'm,
The psychologist. What a weirdo.
Well, as somebody else is working on him, trying to apply first aid, I'm trying to hold him down so he doesn't do any more damage to himself.
So you're assisting?
I'm assisting, but I'm more focused on because I think that as soon as he regains consciousness, he's gonna like start like attacking the people trying to help him because he wants to die.
Gotcha. All right. Let me add you on to your Howard Clark. Okay, so we'll save changes. Actually, and it looks like your first aid roll is right on, Dorian. So you managed to rip some of the clothing or do whatever. You managed to remove the sword. We're going to say that you are awesome this way because this is Hollywood and anything can happen. And you can pull the sword out.
Accidents happen.
Oh, you were a little low. What
Getting
was that?
that well out of his reach.
Yes. You pull the saber out. Nice, beautiful, clean saber. You get it out and you can wrap the leg to hit the major artery, but there's still a lot of blood. And yeah, Howard's like holding him down. And just as you're finishing that, like Pennyworth is starting to come to again, as you're finishing the wrapping. Howard, you look down and you can see, I gave you the access to the handout, the scrapbook, because it fell. And as you're holding them down, you just glance around and then you're able to see that if you wish. But the page is open to where he dropped it as he was reading it. And that's Sarah, you find nothing. No attacker.
She's going to continue walking towards that back wall.
Yeah. Why don't you make a listen roll for me?
Why not? Why don't I just roll? Because I succeeded at something.
Oh, I have to mark
I'm
something.
investigating.
You are investigating. Let me... Matter of fact, I should have all of your... I should have all of your character sheets up so I can get to them, and then my character sheet up as well. Let me just do that real quick.
No, you need like 4 more screens.
I know.
Okay, well, while that's going on, I am distracted by the news clippings.
Yes, and we'll come back to you in just a second.
Sure.
Sarah, as you made it a hard success, but a success is all you needed. So you get there, you hear like a crunching of the gravel, like you shine your flashlight down by that shelf by where the scabbard is. It's almost like it sounds like a rat running across the. And you get down to look, and you don't see anything. You have to get closer in order to really get a good look.
She does.
And as you hear that sound that sounds like the crunching gravel actually starts to change a little bit, and it's more like. It sounds like white noise, But then, yeah. It's like then you just kind of hear a. Your digging will not avail you. You think you hear something say something, and then it kind of fades off. And then you look to your left, and then something is leaping at your face. Make a dodge roll.
Why you make me do this?
Do you want to spend 11 luck points to make that successful?
No, I do not.
I would suggest it.
No, I'm pissed off now. We're done. She's going to shoot herself in the foot by accident now.
No, nothing that severe.
You dodge into the creature coming at you.
Yeah, there you go. Headbutt it. Oh, yeah? Instead of rolling dodge, I'm going to roll hand to hand.
You take a point of damage as a garden hoe comes off the wall, and as you turn just enough that it doesn't hit you in the side of the head. It actually hits you right across the cheek, like Xerxes at the end of 300 with the spear. It's just like slow motion. Zzz. All your face rings that you had weirdly there get cut off. No, just kidding. But you get a point of damage as this hoe goes and then clangs against the opposite wall.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you make me a sanity roll there, Sarah? So you
Yeah,
hear,
I
you
don't
guys may not. I'm not sure if Sarah screams or not.
No, she doesn't.
Okay, just a
I can
point.
make these for some reason.
Just a just 1 point on the success. So let's go back to the scene here. Jordan's just
Can you
coming
keep
to.
it down? I'm trying to read these articles.
You're reading the articles. You hear and I'll let you guys open play for a second as I look at my notes here.
All right.
Sarah will turn her head a little bit and after kind of flinch, and then she turns towards looking where that was, and she'll yell over her shoulder, "You need to get him out of here now."
Well, that's what we're trying to do.
You guys notice that it.
So your face is all bloody now too.
Yes, I do, and he needs to get out of here before he gets put in the dirt too.
Gravel. It's gravel.
Tomato, tomato, get him out. Beatnik, or what? No, what would be the appropriate cultural phrase for the time?
Wow. You guys are making friends.
Now, I want to be clear that I feel as though putting weight on his leg right now to go up a ladder might be a touch difficult.
You can hop. You only have to have one leg to go up a ladder.
That is okay. So,
I'll be fine.
Jordan, you're coming to. You hear that last part from Sarah about getting him out of here. You're just kind of waking up. You can feel the pain in your right thigh. It's pretty hardcore, but you have a nice wrap from torn clothing, wherever Dorian grabbed it from. And
There's a lot of junk around here. Sure.
Howard has gone from is holding your other leg with one hand, but kind of like absently now, weakly, because he's looking deep into the scrapbook, I feel.
Yes.
Do you want to make... Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I would say, because the two of you that have looked at this scrapbook, you guys can both make an intelligence roll, which is, if I say idea roll, it's the same as an intelligence roll. It's your stat at the top right. You guys can both make that.
We'll do.
Wow. Oh,
Right.
nice. You had this idea, Pennyworth, just before the sword struck. You're like, you know what? I think and now it's coming back to you as you wake up. This is... You realize that each article features a tragic incident concerning a member of the Blackwood family who, against all odds, miraculously survived and endured the event. And so, the last one, Man Struck by Lightning, as you look a little closer, is actually about Arthur Blackwood himself. Would have been about 27 years ago from before so 28 now. He would have been a rather young man. Howard, I'll let you notice that information, but as far as like the articles being about the Blackwood family, that's something Jordan knows. So that's kind of, you come to with that idea. You hear Sarah yelling, "Hey, get him out of here."
Hey, you guys see this? His genealogical studies have revealed that there is a sharp aversion to death, almost as though the Blackwood line is lucky.
We're not. I'm gonna like grab the book and close it and try to get people out of there.
I look over at you and I'm like, says the only person who hasn't been wounded so far.
So I'm the sane one trying to get out of here.
Whatever booby traps that family's put down here is triggered when it gets colder. Get to a warmer spot. You'll be better. And she just keeps, she's now kicking the floor like to see if there's any like trip wires that she stepped on. She's trying to rationalize this a little bit now.
We all need to get upstairs. We can regroup.
No, the answers are here. They're here. I can feel it.
They'll still be here when we can actually get to them. this guy's half bleeding out. That person is bleeding. We're getting out.
I mean, you can help Jordan to the ladder, but you can't go side by side, so he would have to climb out himself. And that's if he wants to go, right? Howard, you can keep looking around for stuff if you want. Anybody that wants to keep searching for clues may just let me know. But everybody go ahead and make an idea roll right now. An int roll, same thing.
Okay.
Nice. So the two of you that were successful, Dorian and what, Howard?
My
At-
second intro is a hard.
Okay, but you got a success, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
hard
This-
success.
Are
The
you
two
rolling
of you
your
that
purple dice or your green dice?
Sarah's distracted as she begins to look around again, and the doctor's trying to recover. But the two of you that are arguing to each other, Dorian and Howard, you guys are like yelling. And then besides the fact that it's getting noticeably colder down here, you guys get just a whiff of what smells like rotten eggs, a little sulfuric odor. Just goes right up your nostrils right there.
Yeah. In my line of work, that's a bad thing. We need to get out of here.
So you keep saying that. What's Pennyworth thinking here?
Yeah, Pennyworth is all about getting out of the basement.
Well, I'll help them to the ladder then.
So you get him up, like throw an arm around your shoulder,
Yeah.
start like limping him over there.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And then Jordan, you're gonna try to start hopping up the ladder.
Yep.
Okay. Howard, Sarah, what are you guys doing?
I am going over here to the far shelf. They seem to be trying to keep us from it.
Yeah.
There are secrets
They're
there.
doing the same thing.
Okay.
But but she's still got her weapon out. That's the only difference. She's, do it like.
Lantern in one hand, shovel in the other.
Torch in one hand and gun in the other. That's I think the two of you that I
she's
see
using
here.
she's using the flashlight to push things out of the way if she gets too close to an object on the shelf.
All right. All right. Let me just look
Of
at.
course, she's doing so good at seeing things.
Don't worry, I have your back.
You guys can both. Okay, so Dorian, you're kind of like below the doctor as he's limping up, right? So you're like below, right? Maybe to catch him or make sure
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
gets boosted. Okay, perfect. And just because I want to see. No, I don't know if I should do this to the good old doctor. I feel like a
He's
duck.
hurting.
I feel like if you're taking your time, why don't you go ahead and make a dex roll, but hit the purple die so you can do it with a bonus die. I just want to see how. It doesn't mean you necessarily fall right on your wounded leg or onto Dorian onto your leg.
Hands on your butt.
I knew you'd do this.
Yeah.
Oh,
Uh,
you know what? You can spend 2 luck if you want for it to be a success. That's fine.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
Oh my
don't
goodness.
fall on me.
You can see
Good.
you see Pennyworth almost lose his grip for a second, like, but nope, he's got it. He's got it. So go ahead and make spot hiddens for our Sarah and our Howard here that are still searching. Dorian's
Yeah,
still like helping Pennyworth up. It takes a minute or two. So, oh, nice, both
I finally rolled.
hard
Yeah.
success.
More than dice.
Nice. Let's put that sheet over. I just have all these paper sheets. Or these sheets
Can't
of-
cast a sanity to save my life, but don't worry, I can see all the eldritch horrors before me.
Mhm.
Yeah, we already accepted that you're not saying.
I started off with 35 sanity. I think I'm doing a pretty good RP job.
That's true. That's right. You had a pretty low sanity. I was like, holy crap! What has this guy been through at this point? Have you been?
I believe in aliens.
It's because they're real. But
Yes.
you're the only one that knows that.
Yes.
All right. So you had a little bit of the clue, and to be clear, I don't know. Maybe we should have shared it with the audience. Howard, let's jump back real quick to a little flashback to the scrapbook, and for the audience,
Okay.
what was the information that the basic information that was in that scrapbook?
Let me pull it back up so that I can quote it exactly. But long story short, that is, there are 5 articles here that have headlines from different dates. The first one being 1799, the most recent one being 1901. And they basically, from what we gathered previously, detail how a member of the Blackwood family had survived a horrendous near-death experience. The first one is fire devastates Valley. Then there's an influenza count on the rise. Then the Metawai flood waters. Then the Washington County drought. Then local man struck by lightning.
Which turns out to have been none other than Mr. Arthur Blackwood himself.
Yes.
So there was
Blackwood himself.
There was a time when there was a great fire, there was the influenza, which was deadly, there was a flood, and then there was a drought, and then an individual account on Arthur himself. They're all involved in the Black family. Yep. I want to make sure that that was shared with everybody. I appreciate it and thank you. Coming back to your spy hidden rolls for you two, as the doctor's going up the ladder and Dorian's helping him go up there. You guys, successful. Let me jump back to this. Hard success. Okay. Who does what? So, you find a box, a moldy old box, and there's a lot of them here, but it's a big box on this southern wall.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually quite heavy as you try to move it a little bit. You guys both kind of find this at the same time. On top of that, you find on the shelf next to it a heavy wrench laying next to this box, and actually a dagger, a sheathed dagger. And you can see the dust markings that the next spot over was the saber itself. But next to that was a sheathed dagger and a heavy wrench, just like a piping wrench. And then this box it's heavy. It's moldy, it's gross like most of the others, but it seems weighty. It seems worth taking another look into.
Well, Sarah will put the dagger into her waistband because she's wearing like the pantsuit, and then she'll grab the box. She thinks about it for a second as she's about to reach for the box and drags the wrench off into the floor. Just like, I don't know how they did it, and I don't care. Just gonna put that in the floor right now. It's already there, and the box.
Now who's acting crazy?
I had to move the wrench to get to the box.
Sure, you did. I'm going straight for the box.
Okay. Inside, there are gonna be 3 items of note. You see, there is actually it's on its face. You have to turn it over, but there's actually like a framed painting. On top of that sits a journal, wrapped up with a little strap and everything. And as you move the journal, like a piece of paper that was underneath it moves a little bit. So there's a painting, a journal, and a spare scrap of paper. Dr. Jordan, you just get up to the top and kind of crawl and pull yourself up top. And it's so much warmer up here. Like, you can see that the sun's beginning to set as it's darkening outside. It's, there's a breeze coming through the open windows. But it's so much warmer. You almost begin to sweat right away. Also probably because of the loss of blood in your body's reacting with a lot of adrenaline. But you can, you're just like, whew, as you get to the top. Dorian, you see that he successfully makes it. And I'll go back to Sarah and Howard for the moment here.
I'm going straight for the journal because Howard is more of a bookish sort.
Okay.
All
right. All right.
Casually reading by lamplight down here.
Okay, you open it up. Give me a language English roll, which should be everybody's main thing. Sarah, what are you doing with what you found?
Was that stuff you described in mine, or just what?
It's the same box. You guys are I'm giving you like the same box to rummage through.
Well, she's going to be looking at the picture then, because she is skilled in photography. But she used to be the sketch artist for her dad's law firm.
Oh, nice. Do you have photography?
I do.
Why don't you roll that? I'm just looking for
Here.
a not complete failure on there. Wow.
Mm.
Right on. Okay.
We both got hard.
Blasted it.
We both got hard successes, obviously accomplished in our individual fields.
That is not the one I want. Let me make sure I'm giving you the right handout here, Howard. You said the journal?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna put this in your journal here. So you got another handout. So let me tell you something about it first here. This handwritten journal is dated in 1725. It's very old. It's archaic script. It's archaic journal. It's been faded. It reveals it's the journal of Milton Blackwood. And you soon come to the part that I just gave you in the handout.
Okay, and what is it? Because Howard is just that, weird of a guy, he's going to read all of this out loud as dramatically as possible.
And this, and before you do, this is as like Sarah is like putting this, it's a good sized portrait painting, like is tipping it up and looking at this picture. So it's like perfectly cued, like the camera pans in on the picture as we hear him narrating behind, as Dorian is maybe approaching to hear this as well. The painting is a small painting of a stern-looking man in Puritan clothing. An ostentatious black jeweled ring on one of his fingers catches the eye. And then, because of your successful roll there, Sarah, you catch on the back of the painting as you flip it around, it says, Wizard Milton Blackwood. Go ahead and read.
What is it? One hand's bleeding, holding a lantern in one hand and the book in the other. Totally Shakespeare in the Park here. Lo, the bond is set. The accords sealed in blood. Wealth, good fortune shall forever flow through the Blackwood line. The price is Christian blood that has been defiled through Sabbath rites.
And you're looking at this old Puritan painting of what would be Wizard Milton Blackwood with this ornate ring on one of his fingers. Sarah.
Wizards love bling.
Sarah, make a sanity roll for me.
Yeah, of course.
Howard, you're involved too. Why don't you make me a sanity roll as well?
Of course.
Wow.
There you go. Back to
Why would
normal.
I not?
Dorian, what are you doing after you've helped Jordan up to the top?
Okay, how much do we lose?
It's a 1d2 for your failures.
Apparently watching these two go insane and kill themselves or something, but...
Do you approach them to see what's... I mean, they're down at the very...
God.
You guys are becoming unnerved. So what's the unnervedness that is going through these characters' minds as we've lost a little sanity here? Things are...
I have lost exactly 6 in a very short period of time. Do you want me to make an idea roll?
No. You're fine.
Okay.
You're fine.
Same amount. Sarah is firmly believing now that this is another one of those wild animals claims, but she's also stuck but still trying to reconcile that maybe this was all just traps. But this guy literally has the ring on his hand, and it was read out loud that his words were, "They'll be successful, but they need a sacrifice," and that girl died here, and he was successful previously. So that's all kind of looping in the mind right now as she's looking at the painting.
And that's good. The sanity check was, as you guys were looking at the painting, the eyes of the painting of Milton seem unnervingly to watch you, and you find that it is hard to pull your gaze away. You're like looking at it, and he's looking back at you. You chirp a little bit, and it looks like he's following you just ever so slightly.
So
Ghostbusters 2 now?
It's super.
I come.
Yes.
Ego.
I stare back.
So I go back down and I see these two just staring at this painting.
Yes, and if you look at it for long yourself, you're going to make a sanity roll as well.
Well, I'm not gonna be staring at it either. I'm just staring at them staring at it.
Yes, and I don't know how do we physically see you guys at this point? Like, do you look shaken, or can we not see? Like, Howard's staring back.
Sarah is sort of half kneeling to it, where she's holding it like that, and her gun is literally just sitting on the shelf nearby. But the flashlight's like she's literally like, just kind of.
Yes, and
That
Howard.
loop- that
Howard's
loop
still-
goes in her head.
Howard's still holding lantern in one hand, journal in the other, is like doing a staring contest with the with the painting.
That saber's still on the ground, right?
Yes, it is.
Can I pick that up and slash that painting?
Oh, yeah. I don't even know if
Carlos.
they see you coming.
No, they probably don't.
Careless destruction of property.
Well, this thing is freaking me out because you guys are acting freaky.
Freaking you out.
I think we
we
get.
lost 2 points.
I think we're really deep and really close, like shot up like this of you guys looking at the painting, and then we're flipping the shot to the painting. We're flipping to Sarah, flipping to the painting, flipping to Howard, yeah, and then suddenly we go back to the painting, and suddenly the face is just ruined as the sword plunges through it, and you guys are like snapped out of it, right? You're like, oh.
Yes, well, there's also this piece of paper, as I was saying, trying to play it off.
Just like coolly moves on to it, like, no, nothing's happening.
And other news.
Howard's a little weird. He's good at hiding his eccentricities.
Sarah kind of just turns it around now that she's not mesmerized by it to point at where it's written on the back, the name, and then puts her pistol back. And she's like, there's something going on here, and it ain't an animal attack.
Okay, well, I'm like going to be kind of brandishing this freaking saber at him. It's like, let's go upstairs with everything we found and regroup.
You grab that paper, right?
Whatever's in the box, we're taking up. Yep. Minus the now ripped painting, because now that's staying here.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to read the paper down here. Like, I'm not gonna fight you for it, but like, what is it? If I can get to it first, I would.
Okay. No, that's fine. I mean, it's just a piece of paper. It's pretty easy to grab.
Yeah. I just wanted to read it.
It doesn't take long. It's it's basically, it looks like it was maybe part of the journal and it come ripped loose. So you guys are trying to head back upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm reading it before I do anything else.
Okay, so Dorian gets up. She's got the saber, or he's got the saber now. Painting, I'm assuming, is left there, but you got the journal, maybe. And you guys, the other two are heading toward the stairs. So it's like one of those things where they're walking and you're following, but it's kind of like you got your head down. You're looking at this paper, so you're kind of like just trotting slower behind and holding your lamp so you can do it. Which means you probably would have left the shovel, I'm assuming, back on the ground.
Yeah. I left that. What is it? I dropped that as soon as we got the journal out.
Your shovel goes whacking me in the head, I swear.
It's over there on the floor. What are you, insane?
Okay, so now clearly, Sarah, you didn't smell it before. You clearly smell the sulfuric smell. It's colder. It's probably like 50 degrees, maybe less. And not only do you smell the sulfur, but you also, it almost smells a little bit like the open grave. Let me jump up to Dr. Jordan Pennyworth, who is...
Oh, can I read this out loud?
Yes, let me come back to you, because they're just getting to the ladder. You guys are also noticing the temperature and the smell. But I'm going to pop up to Pennyworth and see. He got up there, probably like crawled over to a chair maybe. Maybe you're still on the floor. I don't know. Maybe you're doing medicine on yourself. I'm not sure. You tell me.
you're muted.
There we go. I will do medicine and examine my wound and see if there's anything I can do to
You can
get some of my hit points back, since
Now you're not a doctor of medicine, but you still obviously you have some knowledge for prescriptions for patients and stuff. You might have a little tiny kit bag, a little painkiller, something on the side to help you.
I am a 55-year-old man who listens to people's problems for a day. I might need help at the end of the day, if you know what I'm saying.
Yep.
You have to be better than my architect who doing first aid on you.
In roll 20, you'd be surprised.
Yeah, sure.
Go ahead and give me a medicine roll.
I can do it. Woo!
With that success, I will give you a hit point back as you rebandage your stuff a little bit better, maybe, and pop a pill, and you're feeling a little bit more go get 'em. So yeah, give yourself a hit point back. And anything else you would have done in the last couple minutes? I mean, that actually might have been taken about all the time, but you can tell me if you had anything else in mind.
No, once he climbed up, he took a breather since it was pretty exerting for him. And then he decided to relieve his stress with a pill and then rework his wound while all the chaos is going on down there.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Just checking me notes. Nothing to see. Hey, where's my page? Maybe there is something to see if I lost my page. Oh, there it is. Okay. 8, 9, 10. And so, yes, Howard, because you're such a Shakespearean in the park kind of guy, like you said, as you're coming to, I think that's great because they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna go upstairs now. Dorian's happy,
Okay,
Sarah's ready,
so-
and Howard just starts speaking out loud this last little bit here.
Yeah, so what is it? Every other light source is either upstairs or going upstairs, as you see like the lone lamp basically being held by Howard, so that like it lights the underside of my face, just like I'm telling a ghost story at camp as I read this out loud. Upon the very ground I have bound the daemon to the Blackwood bloodline. As long as a true Blackwood kin wears the ring, the creature shall remain trapped, and its gift of good fortune shall remain untainted. Let this ring never leave your finger. Let it pass from heir to heir on the deathbed. Never let the creature out, for its hate is unbound, and it desires to see the extinction of the Blackwood name. And what is it? Howard completely believes this. This is like the proof he's been looking for.
Oh, really?
That the genie is real. Do you want me to do a sanity loss for this?
If you are basically saying you believe it, and you're like making your intelligence roll to I mean, I think, yeah. I mean, you can at least make a sanity check, if nothing else.
Okay.
To see if
sanity it is then. And that's a fail.
So you actually believe this, right?
Oh yeah, 100%.
I would say let's roll a d6, make it interesting.
Okay. That is 1 point.
It's not bad, obviously. Of course, you're saying
it does take me below 20% of my starting.
Oh yeah, what's that mean? It's been a while.
I am indefinitely insane.
It's all clicked at the reading of this in the dark. After all this has happened, it's finally pushing you there, right?
Oh yeah. What is it? Do you want me to roll a d8 for a random insanity effect, or do you have something planned?
Well, hold on one second. Actually, it's actually nice. It's built in. If you did the under the bouts of madness, the real time, you don't have to click it yet. I'm trying to think if we. Well, you believe it's real, don't you? Yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
Because it'll roll the random 1d10 rounds it happens and what the effect is.
Okay.
So, I like how you. Uh-oh.
Oh, red mist. God.
Oh, good word.
Yeah.
So,
this is
It's
This is
just
terrible.
Sarah. It's just Sarah.
I think
Because Dorian was already going up the ladder first, so Sarah's in front of you.
Sarah's
Yeah.
about to grab onto the ladder as he comes to the climax of reading this letter. And I
Yes, and
So she basically stops to listen and turns around with a flashlight to go, what? And then there he comes.
convinced that you basically have stolen this ring and are therefore trying to kill the Blackwood line off, including me.
Yep, that's your part of.
I'm going to hit you with the only thing in my hand, which is a lantern.
Okay, so it's officially gone to Crazy Town.
All right, we go open up that handout.
The combat flowchart. Yes, combat's a little wonky sometimes. It usually goes in dexterity order. I'm not worried about it now. Howard is going for the first strike. Okay.
Yeah, he's getting that sneak attack.
Yeah, I'll do a brawl roll.
Yep. So it's going to be. You're gonna. I want to need to ask a question to Sarah. Is she going to try to dodge it, try to fight back, or try to maneuver? As in.
She'll fight back.
Okay. Oh boy.
She ain't gonna take this.
Okay, so brawl we go. Okay, that's a 1.
Oh. Boom, daddy, daddy. So it's okay. So fight back. Highest level of success wins. Draw equals initiator wins. Both fail. No damage inflicted.
Yeah, basically I'll win no matter what.
Pretty sure he's gonna win. So
So I get at the ladder and I just start hearing you guys punching each other.
no, it's kind of one-sided.
Oh, terrible.
Yeah, it's one-sided.
Damage. Okay, so no 4. So Sarah will take 1 point of damage as this lamp just comes and I think maybe bounces off your shoulder. Like your head was there, but you jumped to the side. I better mark down how many rounds. 7 is a long time.
Yeah, I rolled really badly with that.
So I would think even Dorian was only like halfway up the ladder, and suddenly Sarah turns around and then you just hear like a thump, and just smashes off him.
As Howard is yelling, "Murder! You're trying to commit genocide against the Blackwood family!" As I'm bashing you over the head with the lantern.
And the lantern breaks. Well, it gets rattled hard. The glass casing cracks. Oil starts spilling. God! I need everybody to tell me your dexterity score, please. Let's start with
me.
Everybody. I'm just gonna have it written down where I can see it.
So roll dex.
No, just tell me your score. What the actual stat number is.
My dex is a 45.
Okay, Sarah.
I'm 80.
80.
Mm-hmm.
Dorian.
50.
Doctor.
45.
All right, so that's the first round. Is done. It's starting to get freezing cold. Sarah, as you step back, you realize your fingers are numb. Dorian, you going up the ladder as this craziness starts. The runs are almost sticking to your skin because the metal runs are so cold.
I have gloves on.
Oh, you do. Never mind. You don't feel that. Doctor, you hear a scuffle downstairs. Dorian, what's your reaction when you turn and you see this happen?
I look down and I'm like, what are you doing?
Well, you hear him.
He's trying to kill us all.
She.
She.
Yeah, I'm a he. He's a she.
I'm crazy. That's the part you have a problem with?
He's actually seen through the fourth wall.
That's how crazy he is. Okay, so I think if combat flows the way it is, if we start this next round after like the surprise round, Sarah with an 80 is going first, followed by Dorian and then Howard and Doctor simultaneously. So,
yes.
Sarah, what kind of
Yes. I'm not a good hand-to-hand fighter, but I don't want to shoot him.
You do have that. Wait, no, you put the wrench on the ground, didn't you? You have the
you
do have the dagger.
I have a dagger. But I don't want to stab him to death either.
The dagger is a D4 plus 2 plus damage bonus if you have any on your character, just for reference.
I do.
Do your worst, you kin-slaying son of a bitch.
All right, now. Got a headset. Knife. Small. What was the damage on that knife?
And,
It's a D4 plus your damage bonus.
plus
1d4.
plus 2 plus damage bonus if you have any, which your character sheet will tell you if you do or not.
Yeah, I do. So 1d4 plus 2 plus damage bonus.
Mm-hmm.
All right, then she's gonna pull the knife on you and fail.
Oh, well, that's a high. Okay, I guess the dodge doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So next would technically be Dorian. You see the lantern get smashed over Sarah. She looks hesitant for a moment and just like finally pulls her dagger and tries to stab him back and misses.
Are they right near the ladder doing this?
They're just below the ladder. They're basically just around, almost at the foot of it. I would say, they're right about here on the map. So for people at home that weren't able to see it before, I see Jodo is in the audience along with Tice, and I'll just click you over here so you can see the map. It's not a big map. Dorian is on the ladder here, and our other two characters that started a fight are right about here. So they're not that far away.
Excuse me.
You don't.
I can but I don't.
You don't have to do anything. You can shout. You can scream. You don't have to do nothing. You can jump in the fray.
You can prevent the genocide of your family.
Okay, I'm gonna try to tackle him.
Him who?
Howard.
Okay. You come down, and you're going to basically be doing a maneuver, I would feel like. That would make sense here. I'm not as astute on the combat. So, Ryan, if you remember anything that I don't, you can definitely jump it in here.
Yeah.
I think a maneuver, your builds are probably all comparable.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to worry about penalty dice. But a maneuver would probably be to at least tackle you, right? And you had an attack against you already. So technically, Dorian, if you roll, I'm going to say a dexterity roll. Roll it with a purple dice because you're going to have a bonus.
All right. Do you want me to attempt to dodge?
Dodge, fight back, or maneuver.
Okay. I'm going to attempt to dodge that. Ooh.
She got an extreme success.
Yeah.
You might not see him coming, but you can definitely roll a dodge to see if you are also extreme.
That is a fail.
You crazy bastard.
That is a fail.
So after the knife wishes by where your stomach was, and you look back up, you're like, you can now prevent the genocide of the.
Football tackle. First down.
My knee, my one weak point.
That's why you used to be
My
an
upper
adventurer.
body,
He did
the
break
only
rope.
plate that was weaker than my lower body.
He is a buckish fellow with not much strength, so yeah.
Non-surprise attacks, the thing I'm not good at.
Well, then, yeah, I'm just going to try to restrain you because I don't know what the heck's going on, but you're trying to kill each
He's
other.
trying to kill us all.
So he is pinned underneath you right now. He can try to do maneuver to get out from underneath it. Howard, if you want, but this person has also betrayed you, actually.
Well,
This person,
yeah,
Dorian's also against you and also in on it, obviously.
yeah. Well, what is it? He's gone in for a grapple, so I'm going to bite the shit out of him.
So, okay, so you
Murder
can.
mystery turns into.
I think you can roll a.
We're all in the floor.
Okay, that's a hard.
You bit me for 3 days.
Oh, well, I think that I don't know.
Right for the neck.
Well, is that unarmed? I guess it is unarmed damage. Wow.
Yeah.
I was gonna say like the bite could do D2, but yeah. But the thing is, Dorian, you can either fight back. So there's the chart, the combat flow chart. You can try to dodge. You can try to dodge if you just don't want to. You can maneuver
Can I
to.
just punch him in the face?
If you want to hit fight back, yes, you can do brawl.
Yeah.
Do your own brawl and try to hit him.
Yeah.
This is only the second round.
That's right. You know. Where is
You
that?
went from Call of Cthulhu to Fight Club.
Right.
Under your stats, I'm sorry. Where, if you go down the left column to Fighting Brawl, you actually have a 35% chance. You hit. You can.
Just be glad that I didn't have the shovel.
Oh,
Oh.
I got bit.
You take 3 points of damage as he grabs into your neck right about here and just rips free a huge chunk of flesh, and blood just sprays out all over the white shells, all over Howard, and he's just like, rah, rah, rah. He's just chewing on your neck flesh that's in his mouth.
Oh.
You little vampire.
Now, I skipped over the doctor. I think this round he doesn't have much he can do because he went at the same time Howard did. Oh, actually, it is right now. Doctor, you hear a scuffle. You suddenly hear screaming.
Another shot of morphine. That makes it better.
What do you think, Doctor?
I'm looking around the room to see for anything that I can use as a weapon because it's not sounding too hot down there.
Did you have a lamp or a torch? Because those could technically be like clubs, small clubs.
We have a saber down here.
I have the saber. I should probably stab you a couple times.
Well, I'm thinking, what did you do with the saber before you climbed up the ladder?
I don't think I actually let it go.
I feel like you maybe had to tackle it, but if not, it might still be in your hands, but you haven't thought about using it until this point?
Yeah.
Well, I said when she was doing first aid and pulled it out of his leg that I kicked it out of the doctor's reach because I thought he was suicidal.
Dorian picked it up later.
I picked it up, but
Yeah.
I don't
Okay.
think I ever let it go. I think I had it in my hand as I was going up the ladder, so I have it as you're chomping on me.
Yes.
Who's gonna look more crazy, the person that bent him or the person that cuts his head off with the sword?
I don't know. I got bite marks. Let me think.
So with that in mind,
Love it.
Jordan, you had a lamp, I think, didn't you?
Yeah, I had a lamp in my hands.
No, Jordan did, I think, right? I'm asking the doctor there.
Oh.
Because he's looking around for a weapon.
I thought I took. I have a lantern.
Yeah, that's probably the weapon of choice right now, is about what you have.
Okay.
There's nothing really in this house, unless you went through the kitchen to look for a knife, but you'd have to limp over there to do it. Or maybe like a rolling pin or something like that. You could probably find a utensil in the kitchen that does about the same damage if we're going mechanically. But the thing at your hand right here, right now, as you're 3 or 4 feet from the cellar, is the lamp.
Yeah, and you're gonna look down here seeing this guy chewing on my throat.
Jodo just got here just in time for the party to self-destruct.
We're not as sane as we used to be.
You were never sane, Jan.
So yeah, and you do anything, Doctor? Oh, you're muted again.
I will position myself on the opposite side of where the ladder is.
Okay.
So that way, if someone climbs up and I need to bludgeon them, I have a good spot.
Okay. That's perfect. All right.
I come if I do win this, I'm gonna come out. It's like, wow, I have such clarity now. What was I thinking? Bonk.
Right back down you go.
Terrible.
We have
3 more dead bodies down there. Goodbye.
Close it up. Just leave.
now. I feel like you guys have put enough clues together to know kind of what you need to do, but I just don't know if it's relevant or clear right now in the heat of battle. So
Not when this vampire's chewing on me, it's not.
exactly.
Oh, if I wasn't crazy, I would immediately be looking for that ring, but red mist.
Yep. And I'm gonna do one more round of turns, and then I have something I'm going to introduce. To keep it going, you'll see. It's great. It's great. You're gonna love it. Anyway, so top of the round, after the doctor's repositioned himself above the hole, we come back to Sarah, who now is looking at Dorian like with a saber in one hand, holding the neck in the other, blood spraying out. Howard's struggling underneath him, and I think he's like, I almost feel like you got both legs on either side of Howard, Dorian, like, you know, you're pinning him down like that with your knees, or you're straddling him, and he had reached up and got you and ripped you free, and he's just like being maniacal, hysterical. Speaking of red mist, it's sprayed all over him, and Sarah, it's your turn.
Oh,
The shells are no
boy.
longer clean. The shell pea gravel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Notice.
I'm glad I could paint the place.
It's so good too. It's abstract art.
Splashy color.
Splash.
I want to do I want to knock him out, is basically what I want to do. Because he's restrained mostly now, so I can get a pretty good thunk to the side of the head, I think, from this vantage point. I'm not going to go. I ought to go get the wrench and do it, but that seems a little excessive.
Yeah, I understand. I'm trying to think. Like, I don't know if, let's see, was brawl?
You know, the system. Yeah, because I was thinking, like, you know, where you clock somebody like in the throat or whatever it takes just to get them to.
I think your fighting brawl would be fine, and you're going for a non-lethal attack, right?
Yeah.
And he's pinned. I'll let you, if you roll with the purple dice, I'll give you a bonus die for your attack, because he's not really paying attention to you at the moment, and also otherwise pinned down, and you kind of are outnumbering him at the moment. So I'll give you a bonus dice in that respect. So if you want to roll the purple dice for your brawl, we will see what happens.
All right, hold on to your butts. Here's another.
Thank you, Samuel
fail.
Jackson. Ooh, hard success.
Nice.
Howard, do you wish to? I don't know if you can fight back, because are you booting him with your foot? Like, how are you doing it?
Yeah, she's going to go down with the heel.
All right. Are you?
So that-
I guess you could technically try to bite you. Are you trying to dodge, fight back, or maneuver away, Howard? Or do you?
Red Mist, I'm supposed to respond as violently as possible, so I will attempt to make a brawl roll if Dorian has basically shifted his weight away from me. I'm going to try to, try to punch at Sarah as she tries to boot me.
In the head? Okay.
So let's do a brawl roll.
You didn't roll damage, though, for Sarah. That's interesting.
Oh, because I used just the skill. I'm sorry. I didn't actually roll the unarmed button.
Just hit the unarmed button so we can see what damage would come out of it. We already know that you have a hard success.
Yeah.
Okay, so the fight back, initiate. Okay, so draw equals initiator wins, right?
Yep.
So you take, I think,
5 points.
5 points of damage and make a con roll.
Okay.
Ouch, though. You really knocked,
Okay.
he rocked his noggin.
Oh, hard pass. I'm still conscious.
Oh, gosh. He's just like, ah.
This is confirmation of my fears, by the way, as everybody is pummeling me.
You did it to yourself.
Dorian, as you just, like, for a second, you have a chance to, like, look down and, like, see this boot kick him in the head, and he just looks back and is fierce and is just growling or whatever he's doing, and it's your move.
I want to smack him in the face with the pommel of that saber.
Oh, so you're trying to non-lethal as well?
Yeah.
All right.
Even though I really want to kill you.
I'm not sure when you hit 0 hit points, you think you start to die, but you don't actually die. But since we're doing non-lethal, we'll be. I just want to see.
Well, there's not really a non-lethal in Cthulhu if you're doing it rules as written, but like you're the keeper, so
Yeah.
however you want to do this.
Let's see. Fighting brawl. Ooh, that's not good. Are you responding in? Well, you would actually technically get a bonus dice because you're teaming up. So roll that again for a second die roll.
And
Oh,
I already said I'm responding violently, so what is it? You can resolve your bonus die.
Yeah, roll again, Teresa or
for the
Dorian.
bonus die?
Yeah, roll. Well, if you get a bonus, well, that's fine. Just roll the same roll again. I want to see because you technically would have had a second roll. Holy
critical.
crap! Okay.
Yeah, I can't beat that. So yeah,
Now because you have to actually roll a damage. How many hit points do you have left there, Howard?
I have 7.
Oh, you're still doing good. Okay. Click your unarmed button, Teresa. Click the purple or green for the under the weapons so we can see what damage you would have done.
3 points. Nice.
So he got a boot to the temple and then a pommel of a saber, I'm assuming right to the forehead.
Yeah.
And make another con roll, but I think you're going to make it with a penalty die this time because you took 2 shots to the noggin right away. Still a hard success with a penalty die.
Not going down.
Welcome to Call of Cthulhu, where madness is an energy drink, not an hindrance.
Holy crap.
The beatnik is the one that's the strongest party member.
Okay, before I get to my little part,
The gun bunny can't even knock a man out.
the otherworldly entity named Jodo 1025 is like, go to sleep. Go to sleep.
We're trying.
Howard and Doctor, you, from your vantage point, I feel it's fair to say that with the lantern that's on the ground from Howard's lamp that's on the ground, broken, spilling oil, the flames maybe picking up a little bit, it's a little bit brighter. The flashlight from, see, Dorian had a flashlight that maybe has been clicked off. I think Sarah only has the other flashlight going on. And your lamp, you can kind of have a fair idea of what's going on. There's a huge struggle. It's you and Howard's turn simultaneously, but I want to ask the Doctor, is there anything that do you want to maintain your position?
See, I'm not entirely rational here. I don't feel right thinking tactically about this. I think I'm just kind of like, yeah.
No, for you, I know. I'm talking to the Dr. Pennyworth there.
Oh, okay.
I want to come over to him real quick.
Sure.
I would see if there's anything I can maybe like grab and throw at the guy.
Got any morphine?
I can.
I mean, if I wasn't one-legged at this point, that would be an option. But
I think the lamp, if you put your arm down in the hole where you're sitting and you kind of like swung the handle, you could probably like try to swing the handle and throw it like that. But
I can throw my only melee weapon.
You know what?
And possibly set the house on fire?
You guys
Yes.
you got backpacks full of rations and tent supplies, camping gear. So like you can grab a something out of something like you could grab a canned good. Let's say a can of peaches or something, right? And chuck that. How about that?
Let's do that. I'm gonna take a can of peaches and try to knock the guy out.
So you try
Gosh, okay.
This is a tough throw. I feel like this is definitely going to be with a penalty die because you're trying to throw down through a hole, not hit the other 2 people, and just target this guy, right?
No, it's easy peasy. Bonus star.
Critical that peaches at him.
So I would think. I'm trying to think. Let's just.
Peach pop.
Boy, I'm trying to think what the best roll would this be. Maybe just a dex roll.
Probably psychology because
Well, there actually is a throw skill.
Oh yeah, you're right. I forgot about that. Yes, it throw with a penalty die. Roll the purple die, sir.
Oh, geez.
Come on, peaches. No.
That is a hard no.
That's 100. Did he hit one of his allies?
You rolled 100.
You did just clock me with peaches.
Yeah. Dem. Mm-hmm. Roll a d2. A 1 is Dorian and a 2 is Sarah.
All that. I know it. Sergio said two. You know what to do.
Nice.
Freaking peaches.
Nice.
I don't even know if this. I don't know what kind of reasonable damage this would be. I just don't feel like it's.
How about just make it to where I got to roll con and let's see me fall out for no reason.
Just roll a d2. You know what? You have unarmed damage, right? I guess roll your unarmed damage. But I almost feel like there's a chance it didn't hit anybody.
1.
Okay.
Point.
Right
Back
in
of the head.
your rib cage, a can of peaches hits you.
Knock the wind from you.
Oh.
It's back.
It's attacking again.
It's attacking again. It's exactly whatever it is. The booby traps are going off again. Hit him down.
You could totally blame it on the thing.
I don't know.
I didn't do that. The thing did.
She puts her knife away right
and
then.
then-
She's like, the thing is being set off again.
Howard,
Okay,
Howard's gonna be your turn, and then I have something to interject.
Okay, so I'm going to attack the person that is closest to me, which is Dorian. So brawl roll.
All right.
Stop chewing on
That's a
me.
fail.
Do you? Let's see. Your response to that, would that have been to fight back?
Yeah, I try to keep knocking his head.
Okay, so highest levels. Oh no, initiator or both fail, no damage inflict. Okay, so no, you can't do damage there on that part. Okay, so only he would do damage. Okay, so that's fine. It doesn't matter. He failed. You don't have to roll. So,
Okay.
you guys are great and lovely. I gotta go upstairs for just 1 second, check on the wife. I hate to stall the action, but I will be right back. So just keep laughing and entertaining our audience here.
Sure.
And then
Maybe
I'm gonna.
sure the can of peaches strikes again.
Here's the thing. You guys can all make a roll while I'm gone. Everybody can make a listen check, but before you do, Doctor, you can make a regular listen roll. Everybody else can make the purple die listen roll to do a penalty die. So I will be right back to take a look at all those. Give me just a moment.
Alrighty.
I fail all the time.
You're too busy.
I'm too busy getting chewed on. Yeah, that's fine.
We don't know. He could be like literally popping up behind his head, and we would be like, "It's a back!" And like, "What's it?"
It's gonna turn into the thing. He's gonna like just start. Yeah.
Oh my god! And then the
Didn't you
four,
hear me? It's a demon.
then the four became one, and he got the hell out of there because he.
Yeah,
was-
yeah. Yeah, it's amazing how things turn so quickly.
All it takes is a roll.
That's funny. I like the doctor's contribution. Nice peach fling.
You gotta do something. Why not just hurl a can of peaches at
Yeah,
someone?
you're like, why not just add to the chaos whip?
Oh, there's somebody up here throwing peaches. I'll go look for them.
Sarah completely believes that it's the same thing that shot the sword into her. She's like, whatever this is, the animal attack is happening.
Oh
I
gosh.
get stuck with all you crazy people.
Should have never signed up for this type of assignment. To be
Right?
part
And
of
I
it
find
crazy.
out that my friend is a crazy person too.
Yeah, we're investigating a haunted house. We're all crazy.
That's someone gotta find that ring.
You gotta step away for a second.
Well, and if I understand the win condition correct, it's either Howard or Donovan that has to put on the ring. Either that or we both have to die. That would probably end the scenario too.
I thought it had
I'm
to be
going
a
to
black
elect
one.
that I crack all your head in the pipe, drag you out of here, and then declare myself Dorian and, move on.
So only
That's the thing. I think the thing that's sealed here is probably going to come after. What is it? One or both of us, and work its way up the family line here until we're all dead.
Hey Sarah, I think you used a library roll, but I think your roll still stands.
I did what I did.
You rolled a 60. Is your listen at a 60 or above?
Oh, I did do the library roll, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Listen's right below it. It's a 40, so it still would have failed.
Okay, so everybody failed but the doctor,
Yep.
who's not
Yep,
here.
everyone that's actually down there.
We are kind of like in the middle of
I
everything.
am occupied.
Occupado.
Well, that's too bad for you guys.
Yeah, we bet.
Yeah. It's like everything else.
Right after I yelled, "It's still down here," and I can't see what it is.
Gonna only end in tears.
It's only going to end when all of us are risen again
I don't want to be a zombie.
3 times. There's things here that rise you up just to kill you for fun.
Yeah.
You don't know it.
Never ending killing.
Oh yeah, the
Okay.
what is it? Are we playing a mound scenario?
I don't want to be part of the floor here either.
Alrighty. Well, we've done
Late.
enough clues, and everybody's already in self-destruct mode. So,
I'm
let's.
trying not to be destructed. That's self-destruct.
You're failing.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. Surprise. I just want to read and make sure I read my instructions right here. Plus, I was. Oh. Dr. Jordan, you're the only one that made your listen check. From up there, even if you throw the can of peas into the side of Sarah's ribs, and the fighting continues, and the struggling continues, you hear, like you can smell now coming up through the hole, the open grave, the sulfuric, eggy smell, and the emanating cold. Like the heat obviously rises, but the cold is rising up out of there, and it's frigid. It's horrid smell. They don't seem to notice what's going on, and then what you see, Dorian's kind of like straddling with a saber and straddling Howard, and like Sarah's up to their left standing, but like let's see. Let me look at the map here where you are. Move that over. So now let me make this for our audience to see. Where are all my controls? Too many, like the TARDIS. So you're looking down, kind of roughly. You're up here, so you're looking down here where they are. Right below, right about there. Maybe I can make a little mark, make it easier for everybody. Let's draw a little freehand here. Uh-huh.
Well, Doctor, you're probably going to be the only one that survives. If you slam the door and run.
Never say never. I'm sure Luke's got a plan.
Of course I do. So that little area right here, you hear something, like, and you're surprised because of all the commotion, and you just kind of hear, well, you hear me searching for my papers because I don't know what I'm saying. Oh, here we go. Here we go. You just hear this creeping up out of this, like, well, it's coming up with the smell. It's coming up with the cold. It's kind of like on a small draft. You just kind of hear this white noise that kind of just turns into like, your blood is cursed. All Blackwoods must die. I will be free. The ring shall bind me no more. And you see this smoky, shadowy essence rise up right behind Dorian, and these two tentacly-like things just strike. Now, I rolled horrible, but these two tentacly things just whoosh, whoosh, and strike, and Dorian lifts his arms up like this, and these tentacles slice right there, and you guys all see this smoky, shadowy creature like crawling up and formulating, physically manifesting up through the white pea gravel that's being stained with blood, and it strikes. And you guys all see this, like, Dorian, you're like, what the heck? And you look back to see this tentacle almost next to your head. Sarah looks down to her right to see the same thing. Doctor's looking at this thing happen above, and Howard's like looking past and seeing these things on either side of Dorian. And everybody can make a sanity roll right now.
Oh, really? Can we?
Yeah,
Should
I
we?
know.
Should we
Oh,
do
Howard, that's so bad.
So yeah, that's a fumble.
that? I don't want to roll this.
I knew it.
Is it a D6 sanity loss?
It's if you passed the roll, it's a D3. If you failed, it's a D8.
Okay, so I fumbled, so that's 8 points for me.
Is a fumble? Wait, what?
A fumble is usually max sanity loss if it's on a sanity check, but you're the
Okay.
keeper.
Nope. You can take it. That's fine. What I was going to give you here, what I'm going to give you here is the opportunity to see this thing and realize it's the culprit and not your friends. So I'm going to give you the opportunity to realize this with an idea roll.
Okay. And let's do. I believe that's a POW roll, is it not?
Should be. Should we
It
do
was
power
int
roll?
last time.
Okay, int.
Let's do
Sorry.
int.
Okay, that is a success, but not a hard. So
It's okay.
what is it? I'm still red misting, so I still have to attack something. So I'm going to shift my efforts to the entity instead of
I think that makes
these
sense.
people who are obviously out to get me.
So, Dem passed, or I'm sorry, Doctor passed, then rolled a D3. Sarah got 4. Ooh, that was so close. Has anybody lost 20% of their total sanity at this point?
I can't remember how you do a D3.
The sanity roll?
Dash R
Oh.
space 1D3.
Yep. I'm sorry. The roll is what you're looking for.
Okay. What is it? Dash.
/R, then a space, then a 1D3. If you passed your sanity roll, which you did. Very well, meta with a hard.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay.
Minus, yeah. Ooh.
I'm leaving. I can't believe it.
So Dorian's only lost a total, it looks like a 5 at this point. That's not bad. Howard's in big trouble.
I have lost 57% of my sanity.
I'm down by 10 from beginning. So
Are you at 20%? Because 20%, I always forget that rule. I always remember, like, if you get 5 or more sanity loss in one shot, you get the temporary bound of madness.
50.
So
And
these things are flailing on the side of
No.
me, you said?
Yeah. 20% of 50 is 10. So I have lost 20% of my starting.
Wow. You guys have all gotten pretty hit hard in the sanity, haven't you?
so Howard Clark he still has red mist going on. He's still adjusting. I think we've done through 3 rounds. This creature has emerged, and it's gibbering and gabbering. The smell of the open grave is strong. The sulfuric nature is coming out with it, right?
Yeah.
I think I need, to be fair, as Howard Clark did, I think Sarah needs to roll a sanity bound of madness.
All right. The real time?
Real time. It'll give you rounds and what happens.
Real time.
Oh boy.
By the way, the whole time this is going on, Howard Clark is laughing and shouting at the top of his lungs, I told you!
I gotta find a,
Investigator with a new phobia rolls a d100 on the sample's phobia table or choose one. Even if the source of the phobia is not present, the investigator imagines it's there for the next 1d10 or 10 in my case rounds.
Doctor, I'm surrounded by crazy people down here. And it's demon thing.
you can roll
phobia
it. You can roll a
You
D100.
gotten out of the basement.
I got the PEF up for the main book, so
Oh, okay.
I
Then
just
you know
gotta
what?
zoom.
You can find it and then tell us what happens. That's great.
Yep. So 1d100.
Starting the 4th round, according to the red mist.
74. Pharmacology, a pharmacopoeia. Have a fear of drugs. And I imagine there's drugs all around me right now.
That's a little hard to imagine, but it's not impossible. Okay, it's not the worst thing.
They're obviously hallucinating. There's some sort of
Yeah.
drug in the air.
You can think the effect of drugs is in the air. I think that's reasonable.
The peaches. It was in the peaches.
No, I think they're all trying to make me take drugs. And that's why I was fighting in the first place.
Okay.
I'm looping it back. I'm looping
I
it up.
love it.
They set traps for me down here that shot me with things, trying to get drugs in my system. That wasn't a hoe back there. That was a needle. They try to stab me with a needle with a little trick thing. And now this thing shows up, and that is actually a doctor trying to inject me with something, so he's going to get shot. That'll make sense. I'm not crazy. You're crazy.
I'm so dead down here.
Okay, before we go further, and that is perfect, Sarah, thank you. Dorian and Doctor, why don't you both make an int roll? I'm going to have you put some clues together. You're the only two that are thinking clearly right now. Actually, Sarah is semi-thinking clear. Sarah, you can make an int roll as well. That's fine.
Okay.
Howard is thinking clear as a fox. The problem is he's also mad as a hatter.
See, I am the sanest one there.
Yeah. Well,
Doctor, you can't do much about it, but you feel the ring is what you have to find. Matter of fact, you know the ring you have to find. Dorian, you know you have to find the ring as well. Sarah, you also know you have to find the ring, but on top of that is a critical. You're pretty sure it's not on the shelves. It was if the guy said in the recording that it was dropped in his panic, it most likely fell on the floor. And if this other tentacly doctor was here, there's a good chance it probably buried it. So the ring is definitely going to be under the floor somewhere. And that is the way. Howard,
I gotta put this in my head canon now.
you can try to kill this doctor thing, obviously. And this is for everybody. But the ring on Howard's finger, if this is all truly real, is probably the way to go. But where is it? I leave you with that. And we start the top of the round, which is actually Sarah's turn, and the fourth round.
come on, Sarah.
There's two tracks running right now for me. There's what she's going to do, and then there's what I'd really like to do right now, because I, as a person, recall a little tidbit of information from when I first came down here about a location in this room feeling different. But I can't use it because I'm busy trying to get right away from the doctor trying to inject me with drugs. So
Well,
that's what
since
she
you're
does.
thinking sanely, you could always yell it.
So she will move to the base of the ladder and take a pop shot off at the doctor that she imagined.
Oh, the actual doctor, not the tentacly doctor?
The tentacly doctor, the imagined one.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh, gosh.
He can't get to her. He's up there. She will have to, that would be pretty messed up. Just shoot straight back. That's one down. No,
Now for the other doctor.
Yeah.
No, she's gonna move to the base of the ladder.
Yep.
She thinks she knows what to do now, but she still has to deal with this other guy. Like the guy up top, he's not a threat. He's up there. This guy's a threat, and he can get at her with his tricks that he's been throwing things at her and missed her in the first place and stabbed the doctor with that giant hypodermic needle that Dorian, for some reason, decided to pick up and try to use on other people. This all makes sense in my mind. I'm not crazy. You're crazy.
You're crazy. I'm not. All right. Perfect sense. You can make your handguns. Actually, let's take a look at the character sheet. You might be able to make the handguns roll from the bottom, not from the skill check.
Mm-hmm.
And that will put the damage in. I think the creature will probably fight back. Because that makes sense.
That makes sense.
Um,
Because I'll be close enough. So she's not going that far.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. How big is this cellar? Does this qualify as point blank?
yes. So that'd be a bonus die.
Okay, so I use the purple.
Yeah. Yep. And what else did I miss out of that? Out of those things?
So I hit,
Yay.
and he hit, right? Or no, he failed on a 0.
Yep. I failed on my fight back.
So she shoots for 9
Yeah, you
points of damage.
Let me.
Bam!
And then I lose 1 ammo.
So,
Well,
So now that a gunshot echoes through this small face.
so
Bam!
My
She's firing
boomstick.
at 38. She's firing at 38, so
it goes off in a loud blam. See, I think you have a clip of
Okay.
8 as well. Yeah, you have as much extra ammo as you need, but if you take 8 shots, you'll need a minute or a second or two to reload.
Yeah, I
The
figured
tentacle, you stand up, and one of the tentacles, they're on either side of Dorian. It looks up at you. It's like, "Rrr," and you just blast it. As you look at it, you see the end of these tentacles are actually end in circles with minuscule razor-sharp teeth all the way around it, like a sucker fish, like a lamprey.
Get away from me, get away from me, get
Yeah, she
away from
don't
me.
And you
that's,
shoot it.
that's not that's not what you're describing. What she sees, that is a hypodermic needle system that injects drugs directly in your bloodstream. It's not happening.
The thing lurches at you, and you shoot this needle, and it hits the needle, and it deflects off the needle. It cracks the edge of the syringe. It doesn't do as much damage as you think the 38 should to a needle. It's a tough syringe. And Dorian.
Yeah.
Your turn, sir.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on.
Crazy guy trying to rip my throat out is kind of the less of the problems at the moment now.
I told you.
He was right all along. So was she, and so was he. Everyone's right.
Okay.
You're crazy.
Wish
I
we
have
could
no
have
idea
brought
what to
some
do
metal
either.
detectors. Well, I guess I'm going to. Can I try to drop to the ground and look under the shelves or something? Try to see a ring somewhere? I don't know.
You can. You're not digging. You're looking.
I wouldn't know where to even dig.
That's true, but that's not what I'm asking.
Actually, what did he?
You're
Didn't he
two
say that
sections
he
of
dropped
shelves.
it as they were leaving?
Maybe.
He said he had on the message. He just said he dropped it somewhere in the basement. He
Dig in the
said-
floor, not in the ceiling.
Thank you.
and then he bites you.
Yeah, right. I guess for my
This is
last
what I
turn,
do.
I'm gonna go to the base of the ladder, I guess, and just kind of try to dig if I can get past this tentacle thing around me.
And Sarah.
And Sarah and the crazy dude and everything else.
Yeah. You're not attacking. You're just yeah. You can you get off Howard, who probably leaps into action to attack this thing the moment you're off him, and
Yeah.
you crawl you hunch low past Sarah, who's probably getting ready to fire another round, and, and you dodge between Sarah and this tentacly/syringe thing, and you get to the base of the stairs to start digging. And you have the leather gloves on still, right?
Yeah.
You just start going at it.
Yeah.
Okay, you start digging. We'll come back to you because it's going to be a second. And
Okay.
That's hard.
go ahead. Yeah, that'll be your turn. Yep. And then it's going to come to Howard and the doctor simultaneously.
I will let the doctor take the lead on this one if he wants to. If not, I can go. I mean, I'm just going to run up and attack it.
With your fisticuffs.
Yeah, considering the revelation, I guess the best help I'd be right now is to just keep an eye out to see if, amidst all of the digging and the turmoil, see if maybe I can spot the ring as it gets uncovered.
Okay. Maybe you can be maybe you can give an assist this next round to Dorian. I think that would be useful. That would work. So let's put it there, and then Howard.
So I have 9 more rounds almost coming up.
You got the whole rest of this fight to think that it's a syringe monster.
Howard,
I have at thee.
are you going to be fighting it?
Yeah, that's what I got to do. Red mist and all.
Alrighty.
That is a hard unarmed attack. I just come at it and windmill fist it.
It will definitely fight back, and it definitely
Okay.
misses, and you definitely hit it for 3 points of damage, and you smash it right in the same mouth I got shot, and it deflects up against the stairs, and then bounces back, and it looks like it's in good shape and just fine, and just kind of it has no discernible eyes or features. And
I'm just glad it's solid enough to actually hit.
and you do, and it looks like it's making smoke and shadow simultaneously, but it's very tangible. And as you hit it, and it recoils, and it looks at you, and the second one looks at you, 2 more tentacles come up out of the ground.
Yeah.
And there's 4 of them.
I'm just saying, I think I dropped the saber finally, so it might be near you.
That's all right. I have them surrounded from the inside.
Yeah. We can
Have
say
all their attention.
I think if you were going to go to digging, you would have dropped the saber right next to Howard. It is within reach if he thinks to grab it. That is definitely fine.
Let me do an idea for that.
Sure, that's perfect.
Just saying that I wouldn't have it anymore.
Wow.
Sure, I would think of it.
So you might grab that this next time here.
Sure. If I survive the round.
Mhm.
You're like, well, punching it didn't work. I'm going to try to slash it.
Okay.
Sharp blades, it's one weakness.
Fighting brawl, it's all the same. Okay, so it looks back and forth, and then it lunges for Sarah. I'm rolling like crap. Oh, got one. I'm just reading this here. You can roll a dodge if you wish, or a fight back.
I think she's going to roll a dodge this time
Okay.
because she's freaking out, man.
You're
Nope.
not freaking out. baby.
All right, I'm not gonna look.
Yeah?
Oh my god, I can roll sometimes.
It's a regular success, so a tie goes to the attacker. Wait.
No, it doesn't
Nope.
matter.
A high level draw. Yeah, draw defender wins. Attacker wins with higher level success. Wait.
Yeah, that's the advantage of dodge versus brawl. If he dodges the
Defender wins.
yeah,
Oh, good.
Yes.
basically tie goes to the person that is trying to brawl because basically they're trying to get an extra attack in.
Yes. Okay. So this tentacle, this syringe, leaps forward, and it's weird that the syringe can move at weird angles. Doesn't seem to, like, it almost wants to wrap around your arm and then plunge the needle in, but you're able to pull free.
Well, that's what you call the IVs. That's how they.
That's true.
Have you never seen a kung fu movie? I mean, they're kind of now the rage. This is obviously an Oriental doctor who is very scary, and very pushy.
I don't know
Thank you, sir.
I don't know what's better, is that your character is thinking this or that you are actually coming up with this.
Hey, this is what I do.
Oh, I know.
It is true. Oh, well,
Spread madness around.
thank you, Sarah, for not
The wrong
falling
side of the table.
for not falling victim. It is your turn, Sarah. There's now 4 syringy appendages, or whatever you make of them.
She will yell, "Look under the steps," or "Look under the ladder," and then she's gonna pop another shot at whatever is in front of her. She's just center mass as far as her eyes are concerned, because she's still seeing a doctor with kung fu syringes and IVs.
The creature has nothing to lose but without fighting back, so he will roll a success to fight back. Oh.
Malfunction.
It will be. Oh, did you roll? What'd you
Yeah.
roll? No, you rolled a
99.
62. Okay. You malfunction on 99.
Well, malfunction on a 99. That's
Or a
like
100. Yep.
So I just failed.
So you failed, but he chose to fight back,
Just 6.
which
And on the
means
left.
4 points of damage as you get one free of the one from your right arm, and you fire and you miss, and then another one syringe sinks deep into your right leg. Now everybody else sees a black tentacle wrap around Sarah's right leg and then sink its maw into her right near her knee, and has a hole. Or actually, I'm sorry, it doesn't bite and hold. I'm sorry, it just bites. It just bites for the damage. So you get shot in with this syringe, this liquid of like blackish purple medicine.
Yeah, she's going to scream because that was 50% of her hit points that she had left.
Mm.
No, not again. No, not like that. Not like that. Damn beast attacks. I don't know what I'm doing.
Right. It's not funny.
That's funny. That's why it's great.
Oof.
Okay. All right. Dorian, it's time to make that luck roll we talked about earlier. And you're going to be able to roll the black dice, purple dice, whatever color it is, because you're going to get a bonus die. I know it's a luck roll, but you're going to get a bonus die from Dr. Jordan, who is like, hey, look here, and also from Sarah yelling stuff. And let me just look ahead. 11. Oh my goodness! What if I would have gave you 2 bonus dice? You would have had it.
Well, can't you? The doctor and Sarah?
I decided not to be that cool.
Did you spend luck on their luck roll?
Can't spend luck on the luck roll, or on combat, or sanity. Just like the hope of using it.
Oh, goodness.
That would have been bad either way. I only had 60 luck. I was only down 1.
So you start digging, and you're thinking this is not quite the spot. You get past. You dig fast. You're digging fast, right? You dig through the pea, gravel, and the shells, and you get to more bone, more human bone, and this is in a completely different spot. And you dig past that. About 2 feet down, you hit limestone, and that's it. That's the ground. You're like, it's not here. It's not here. And you gotta dig somewhere else. Now, to be fair, mechanically, it's a luck roll that's gonna do it. But this spot was not lucky.
No bueno.
No bueno. Dr. Howard, not Dr. Howard. Howard and Doctor, you're up. South America. North America. Europe. Anyway.
I'm basically got my hands tied. I have to attack the creature. Knowing that saber is there, I'm going to go for that.
The saber is a D8 plus damage bonus if you hit with it.
Okay, I'm going to start off by doing a brawl roll, and let's go from there.
Creature will choose to do a dodge with you. Let's see.
It should. Hard.
Damage 2?
That was with the D3. Let me roll a D8.
Oh yes. Okay, just roll a D8. Do you have any damage bonus?
No, but I did 6 points of damage.
6. Thank you. It's 3. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're up to.
As I'm getting maniacal with my Shakespeare in the Park thing, with now that I actually have a saber.
That's even more fitting.
Well, you got a skull over in the corner too. You can do a whole really Shakespeare.
You
laughing like a maniac, hacking at it with no finesse whatsoever. You basically digging that hatcheted head right into it.
It's got that circle face. I think you come right down into it, and then you come down into it again, and you chop a third time, and it kind of sticks. It oozy purplish black blood is just smokily like spraying off there, and it's kind of stuck and being held. You're like, or whatever, right?